of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Lori, roll call.
Kevin Scramlin,
Here.
Janelle Keller, Teresa Bills,
Here.
Jim Christopher,
Please here.
Heath Weederhold.
Here.
All right. Approval of agenda, additions or changes? Did you want to change something?
Yeah, I was just going to recommend that we move the policy manual to the bottom, and that's only because copies are on their way.
Sure.
So we'll just shift that to the bottom, but other than that, I would recommend approval of the March 25th special meeting agenda.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Public comment? Dave, you good?
I'm good.
All right, then we'll close that. All right, so new business. First thing, we will discuss resolution in opposition to all of the zoning stuff in Lansing. What this stemmed from is Chris Barnett at our last OCATS meeting had asked if we would go back to our boards, have this resolution supported so that it can be presented to the legislator in Lansing. And I don't wanna beat a dead horse, but I thought this is not gonna go away. So it's something we're gonna have to stay on. I fully support this resolution. If anybody has any other comments, please feel free to do that.
No, I mean, I agree.
All right.
I agree. These are all those zoning bills for anybody who doesn't know what that's for, is the proposed changes for smaller lot sizes and removing control for, I guess, that's a lot of it, lot sizes and zoning
Setbacks,
setbacks.
Yeah. all those good things. All right. I'll make the deal. What else?
How, can I do mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Only because I will
I'm gonna say you're
motion,
the one that has to write it.
I will motion that we, approve the resolution opposing the selection of bills as noted on the example resolution with updates made to reflect Groveland Township and Groveland Township and, elected officials.
I'll support that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now let's switch over to the fire ones. I'm sorry, I didn't go through the last one. Oh, this is just. Oh, I'm sorry, Teresa, I skipped over you. Security grant acceptance, go ahead.
So the cybersecurity grant of $13,500, which was applied for on December 30th of 2024 and approved in February of 2026, right? Took 14 months. The original application that I put in for us was for a cybersecurity assessment. That was step 1. You couldn't go to steps 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, until you've done step 1. So, I put in for this. In the meantime, the building, the lightning strike happened and we had to do all kinds of other things, to remedy that before they ever approved or gave us notice about this grant. So the township stuff is pretty well set, but since they approved this grant and they said that the expenditures would be from January 22nd of 2026 through September 30th of 2028. That's for current and future expenditures that we would not have put into our normal budget. Those are the parameters. I was confused about, should we accept it or not accept it? I hate to say no to money, right? It's $13,500, but if it has to be used in specific ways, then we have to document that we used them in those specific ways. So I did some digging. I contacted the person at the state who is heading up this whole thing and explained because it took as long as it took, the scope of our project is not what I applied for. And she said, we understand, we believe there are a lot of people basically in the same boat, and so they are recommending that if we feel that we can use it at all, that we should accept the grant, and then we have until April 9th to accept it and make sure that we meet all of their requirements and fill out this 4-page spreadsheet of documentation of what we plan to use it for. So I reached out and asked them about BlackRock. Could we use our own vendor? Because they said you have to go through their procurement process, and we did that when we vetted BlackRock before we chose to go with BlackRock. So they approved us to use our own IT company that we already went through the procurement process with. And so I reached out to BlackRock, said, are you familiar with this grant? Sean at BlackRock has been working with me. I've given him the particulars, and he is confident that he will have a way for us to appropriately apply these funds, and he will assist me with filling out this paperwork. He did state that it's possible, since the fire department, the news station needs cybersecurity and so on. I'm just saying, before we accepted all this money, we needed to make sure that we could apply it in a way that the grant would allow for. And the big stipulation is you can't have something in your budget that normally would have covered that expense anyways. So like our IT contract, it can't cover that, but it can cover some other things. He mentioned just some things off the top of his head, like security badges, things like that. But he's gonna work with me on it, and in the long run, the gal from the state said, if you find that you cannot actually use it in the way that it's you are allowed to, you can always turn it down at a later date. So my recommendation to the board, after having done that research,
How long do we have to spend it?
well, it's for expenditures that take place from now until September, the end of September of 2028.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Sure.
So that does change the whole scope of the project, because what I applied for, we've already done, we've already taken care of. And so with that said, you know, I wanted to be able to at least come to the board with a recommendation of whether we should accept it or not accept it. And I was uncomfortable accepting it without the knowledge that we could change the original plan, and we wouldn't be held to taking something that we really just cannot apply in the way that they intended to. And I think it's really interesting that there's this money out there, and you think it's easy to get, and it seems like, okay, yeah, they approved it, but if you have to spend it in such small, you know, like parameters, like you cannot deviate from these things, and if you would have planned for paying for that anyways, you know, I don't know that we'll be able to use it, but to turn it down at this point under her recommendation to me didn't make sense. But that being said, I'm looking at a 4-page spreadsheet of the application process just to accept the money for the time being. So I didn't want to just walk into it and go, yeah, I think we should just do it. But if the board feels like, you know, there's places we could use it, and you're willing to work with our IT company to figure that out, then I'm willing to do the work, to put in the work to actually fill out all the documents and get it.
I mean, hey, with the new fire station, and if we have 2 years We've gotta figure out somewhere to, I don't wanna turn down free money, I agree
Right.
with you,
Right.
so.
Then I will make a motion that, how to word this, I will make a motion that we, accept the cybersecurity grant monies, allotted to Groveland Township for, what's it called? For the state and local cybersecurity grant program. And that the contact signer on it is Supervisor Kevin Scramlin. You got all that?
I'll support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go through the resolutions here for the fire department. The first one is about congressionally directed spending request for replacement fire station 2. This is one we actually did discuss in our last board meeting, but we need to pass a resolution of support. Does anybody have any other comments on that one?
Just to refresh my memory, does this one require matching funds from us?
25%.
25% matching
Yep.
funds. So this is asking for $5 million?
Yep, but you won't get all that, but you gotta shoot for the sky.
Okay, but let's say we did, would we even, this is saying we would like to use it for replacement of Fire Station 2. That's, to me, the building,
Correct.
not the equipment in the building.
Just the building.
Okay,
And it's the same thing, if you get any of these about like that one, if you couldn't, or if you didn't wanna spend the money at the time, you could turn it away.
well, let's say that they approved 5 million and we only decided to spend 2 million. We wouldn't have to accept the whole 5 million if we
Correct.
didn't, we'd have to show that we spent it on the appropriate thing, and if we couldn't spend all of it, then we wouldn't accept all of it.
Correct.
Okay, so we're only limited to our 25% match of what we actually
Mhm.
spend,
Yes,
okay?
yep, or what you accept. I've been told most of the congressional ones, the top ones, are gonna be like 1.6 to 1.8,
Okay.
so. Cause of course they divvy it out, I think each one of them have 15 to pass, so.
Have you gotten, any estimate on what it would actually cost to replace that whole building?
I'm sure you're looking at a couple $1 million at least, wouldn't you say, Jim? From what we talked?
I would say closer to 3,
Okay.
3.5 at the most.
So if they don't fully fund it, then we would have to pay the difference ourselves.
That would be the conversation to have.
And we could have that conversation at the time.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's like anything, there's deadlines, they had to get this stuff submitted, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Keith, anything?
Does it have a resolution number assigned to it?
No, I actually just looked at these today, so I did not get a chance. I know John we just got them. So I'll just attach them with the appropriate allocation.
Okay. Well, I would make a motion that we approve the resolution to request the $5 million grant for the new fire department, Station 2.
I'll support that.
We got a roll call?
I don't think we do because,
Because we haven't actually approved it.
yeah, well, and, Teresa, that very final point there, any future township financial participation related to this project, if required, shall remain subject to separate board review, approval, and appropriation.
Okay.
So we actually are not
We're just supporting.
bound to a dollar of this at all.
Okay.
Do they, like, this doesn't show the match on here? Are they expecting that, John? Do you know?
The match, it'll be fine, calculated out, which, whatever, fund number they take it out of.
I just didn't know if they wanted to see in our resolution that we knew there was a match part. Do you know? They may not
No.
care, I just didn't know if they had said like, you know, that we need to acknowledge there's a 25% match, because right now we're not. I mean, we were talking about it, but I didn't know if they needed to see that we approved that.
No, not what they told me.
Okay. Then, yeah, I don't think we need a roll call. 'cause
All
we're
in
not-
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The next one is for the drone. Stacy, do you wanna talk a little bit about that one? I'm gonna put you on the spot, or John, whoever.
I'm still waiting to get some more support letters back for the drone. There's new legislation that everything on the drone has to be American made, so that has increased the price of the drone by about $15,000 to $20,000. T-Mobile has a grant out there up to 50, and right now, we're like 34,000 for a drone with thermal imager. You can use it for training and pre-plans and structure fires and finding lost people, and that's not a matching grant, it is a straight up grant.
Do a lot of places use these? This is just curiosity, when I was reading through this, I'm like, thermal imaging, it seems like it'd probably be hot everywhere, but I don't know how that works.
We had a drone,
Okay.
the drone we have now in the closet is so old that it can't be updated, the software and
Sure.
batteries and everything. A lot of departments are using drones more. Oakland County has them, I think Mavis has them, but time is tissue, time is
Right,
people,
yeah,
finding
100%.
people. Hotspots in a house is kind of a newer thing. Being able to put it up and see through the smoke to
Sure.
where the seat of the fire is pretty new technology. And these drones are the newest ones on the market.
Out of curiosity, when we use these, where is it recorded? This is only for my personal interest, but do you know if there's a FOIA retention policy on those?
I'm sure there is
Okay,
on any of our documentation or.
we would
Video
just, I
stuff
just
there
would wanna
is.
make sure that we, again, that was selfishly,
Mhm.
what do I have to make sure that we're retaining?
I don't know, I don't think there's necessarily an item in the fire department retention policy, but
Yeah,
I'm sure we have to refer back to some other part
yeah,
that
we'll
does
just
have
have
it
to
in there.
check that out.
Probably the same as what the police have, and I'm sure they
Yeah.
have it under theirs.
Okay.
So, yeah. And on top of that, that covers all the training and everything, but on top of that, we'll have to go take
Oh,
the,
yeah, a lot of training.
the federal test and licensing for it,
Okay,
which is relatively cheap. It was,
175.
yeah, $175 per license individual, so.
And you gotta update that every 3 years, is it? 2 years, in 2 years.
And the training
So-
that comes with it, that's in the grant, is for 12 people, and that's all the training educated needed to take that Part 107 test.
Can I get a question?
No, go ahead.
Stacy, I don't know a ton, how about I say this, I know enough to be dangerous about drones. The cost really caught me by surprise. Can you comment about why the magnitude is about $30,000?
It all has to be American made.
Yeah, the big thing is,
Electronic
And
parts.
it's the thermal imaging.
yeah, previously,
I'm gonna say that.
previously the big drone company was DJI, it was a Japanese company. And with the recent legislation, they made it all American made, so it couldn't have any foreign software in it in case for security purposes.
Yep, it's good enough for me, I just was surprised.
It was ironic,
It's,
we had a phone call last week on a drone, that they picked up on the minute notes from the township meeting. And after 30 minutes, they're like, oh, it's $50,000 for the drone. I goes, okay, what's the warranty and different things on it? They're like, oh, it's 100% covered because you don't own it, it's a lease, $50,000 a year.
wow.
A year?
A year.
Wow.
They said there were people looking at them in Michigan, it didn't make it sound like there was any here. I'm not interested in leasing something, let alone for $50,000 a year. I think our money's more invested if we physically own it and train our people to use it.
So, just for discussion, company I work with, we have two of them. I consider them the acuity to be amazing in visible spectrum, and we use them for infrared. They were half the price. So to the point, it's probably the American-made component. Does it make any sense to try to share this technology with adjacent fire departments in order to make it maybe more affordable?
Grant wise,
Yeah.
well, it's a one-time grant. We have talked to neighboring departments. I do have one that is interested in getting people trained on it if we get it. The grant usually, it's not like a regional grant for that, it's just a one-time grant through
Okay,
T-Mobile.
just throwing stuff out there, curious.
Right now, I've got like a whole list of grants. It's a matter of finding what our needs are versus what the grants will pay.
Understood.
Thank you.
Stacy, you mentioned that the cost went up 15 to 20,000, that's reflected in this 35?
Mhm. The original grant I got like 6 months ago was like 19,000.
Anybody else?
This is full grant, you said, right? No matching?
No matching.
Matching? I think that was.
I'll make a motion, for the resolution in support of grant application to T-Mobile, for a drone with thermal imaging capability and training, with the appropriate resolution number on it.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The next one, before we get too far, I do wanna thank John and Stacy. They've done a ton of work on these applications for grants, because the supervisor's attitude is to throw as much stuff at the wall to see if we can get something to stick. We all know when you apply for these grants,
Right.
you're not gonna get a lot of them, but, in our situation, me and Chief had talked, and we just have to apply for as many as we can. So the next one is maybe the most critical one, really, and this is through, did we end up going through Slackman's office on this one, didn't we?
Which one is it?
Cardiac monitors.
Yeah.
So anyway, the two next ones are 45% matches. But the cardiac monitors, I know we're living on borrowed time with them. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stacy, you've also filled out another grant for these, haven't you, a regional grant?
Yeah, we're doing a regional grant for cardiac monitors through North Oakland, Oxford, Holly, and Springfield, or not Springfield, Holly Village. That's through the AFG. Don't know if we will get that. I don't wanna put all our eggs in one basket. Cardiac monitors is something we really need to push for to replace our current ones.
Sure.
So yeah, when AFG, if and when AFG, the government shutdown lets up and AFG opens, that'll be open through FEMA. We'll be doing a regional grant through, North Oakland for that. Whichever one we can
Yeah.
get it on.
So like I say, these are 45% matches. So you're asking for 320, what's the math on that, John? I know you and I have talked. The monitors price anymore,
About 16.
maybe right around there.
About 150, 160, a little less than half.
What did you say it was, matching?
45%, the next two are.
So half would be 160, so a little less than 160.
Yeah, 144.
Just like the rest of the board numbers, what do the monitors cost anymore, John? I know you and I have talked.
65,000? Oh, with all the extras, it was 80 apiece? Yeah, 80 apiece with all the extra equipment that we're required to have on it now. The base is 65,000.
So you're going for the $80,000?
Yeah, because we're required to have the 12-lead transmission capabilities, the Bluetooth on it for downloading all the data onto our EPCRs, our run reports, and now we have to have the CO2 sensors and waveform capnography on it. We're required to have, so.
And that's the warranty also on it.
Yeah, and a 10-year service plan, which includes the service, maintenance, calibration, and battery replacement, which quite expensive.
Sure.
Remind me, did the township buy these a couple of years ago, or am I just thinking of the Lucas devices?
Just
Did we
the
buy some
Lucas.
of these?
Yeah, ours, the ones we have now are,
2 of them are almost 20 plus years
Yeah,
old,
those
and the
are-
other ones are 10 to 15.
How long do they usually last? Did you say that? Sorry,
the life is 10 years on
10 years? So you get a lifetime warranty,
them. Yeah.
right, for 10 years?
So what's the availability of them if you get the grant? Like, do they have them available that you just purchase them? Or is there a wait time?
No, they have them here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And our old ones are not supported anymore, correctly?
Correct, yeah.
So this,
So when something breaks on them, we have to find somebody that has a part in a junkyard, get it swapped out.
so the 144,000, the 45% match would come from the township budget?
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
Is there, that's the line item that says we would discuss it later, if we
Yeah.
get this.
exactly.
We may be able to come up with alternative funding by then. And, there's a part in it, it would fall under the rural development section of the grant, so on one hand, we fall within the population density, but our medium home income is 99,300, which puts us outside of that. So we may be able to break it off into sections and use the lower income side that we do for the CBDG. So we're still working on
Like
seeing
half
if
the
we could.
community type thing?
Mhm.
Seems like if you could count every trailer that's occupied, it would certainly change that median housing amount.
Mhm.
I would think.
Park is one.
They must count the park as one. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they classify that. I haven't been able to figure that out. I tried to because they have a separate number assigned to them for the census,
Mm.
but I haven't been able to figure out how exactly it's calculated.
So because this is a matching grant, then this requires a roll call?
No, because we haven't agreed to spend the money yet. Right now, we
This
are
is
just
just-
support
yeah.
of them. Yep. So,
So just like that last one, in the future.
anybody else any questions? I'll make the motion. Resolution in support of a fiscal year 2027 congressionally directed spending request for 4 cardiac monitors with the appropriate resolution number.
Support.
All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? And the last one is, one that actually just got started a little over a week ago. So Springfield had approached us about, putting in some type of training facility. Actually, John, why don't you tell me exactly what it is instead of me muttering through it?
Yeah, so it's kind of basically we have a container over at Station 2. It's just pretty much an expanded version. Oxford has one, exactly like the one we hope to put in over there. It's 3 containers. On this one, there's no live fire, unfortunately, but it's just kind of to get us going on it. And that would allow us to do all of our basic drills and practices on it with, we can do door breaches, forcible entry, we can do search and rescue. There's an elevated platform off the top, so we can do high angle rescue and things on it. So, and all the other modalities around can use it as well, since we're in there with the task force and MSP is in there. They also expressed an interest in it. And actually I got a call, or Stacy got a call for me. I haven't been able to talk to him yet from the task force, that they would like to expand on it and put a dog training area in there as well. I know we talked to them last year on putting in a large complex back there. And the hopes was originally to wait after the station opened and we could get all the politicians there to show them the need for it. But I think time is the object here. It just falls into the right time.
A few things on this one. I did talk to Oxford this morning about it. So Oxford, like John said, had one, and they basically went through the same, deal that we did to get it. So our 45% match on here, they ended up getting enough stuff donated that they didn't even spend 25% out of their own pocket.
Yeah, I read the list on their,
You know, Levin
Their
donated all the
application, they did.
aggregate, they got all the dirt work done basically for free. Luckily, we know a guy that's got a bunch of equipment right
Mhm.
there. The cement company came in and did it for about half for them, so. Also, since we've been approached by Springfield, we could go back to Springfield if we have to spend money and say, hey, if you guys wanna use this,
yeah, ask them for some
ask
assistance.
them for some assistance. The flip part of this is, once you have this built, John can rent it out. So there would be some money coming back from it.
So is Springfield out of this now?
More or less, we're on our own.
Okay.
Yep.
For the
Missed
most
that
part, yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, you can only file is one
Just for one,
municipality. Yep,
okay.
yep.
So are they asking also?
No. To be honest with you, Rick does not wanna put it up there because they're not sitting on any property like we are, where their fire stations are.
That's right.
They're in such small areas. He just didn't think it was gonna be practical for
Sure.
them. But, that's who actually got the ball rolling on it, so.
And this is a huge asset for our ISO points,
Oh, that was
Which
the other thing
we
I meant to mention.
desperately
yes.
need, so.
So this is, so you said we have a container at 2,
Mhm.
but this will be a tower, or this will be another.
But it'll be 3 containers stacked on one another with the stairs and props built all over it that we
Okay.
can do the evolutions on.
Okay, that's, I just was looking at this going, wait a minute, he said container, are we making a tower? Okay. Cool.
I'm good with it.
I'll make a motion. Resolution in support of fiscal year 2027 congressionally directed spending request for a regional public safety training facility with the appropriate resolution number.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Move that up. Employee handbook,
All right.
Ms. Keller.
Over there. So the big thing here is, last year, the Earned Sick Time Act went into effect. I think there probably are a lot of areas on this that we could tweak, so if we wanted to just spend a bunch of hours, we can here. Or we can kind of chip away at it, but the big thing that we need to address prior to April 1, and that's why we're having this special meeting here today. We have some, oh, sorry, hold on, let me give you these. These are this is what we passed last year at the 11th hour, if you recall. This was the, response to the Earned Sick Time Act. So that's what we're looking at, that we had determined from last year. So last year we approved the vacation and sick time. These were gonna be separate. I wanna find you, let me just get to the page. So you can flip through and see a lot of my comments on things. John, did you have a chance to look at, I mean, I know that we had talked in the past about
At the
like comp
ESTA
time
one,
and-
comp time, yeah, I just wanna get rid of the comp time altogether.
Yeah,
Just
there's,
wipe that all out.
okay,
'Cause
so
it's too
we
much
have
of
a number,
liability.
yeah. We have a number of areas in here that talk about, like fire department personnel working, what is it? It's like if they work on a holiday, they get comp time. I don't even think we even have overtime in there on holidays for them, do we? If we do, we may have conflicting information. But I know there's a section that says if they work on a holiday, they get paid or another day off or
Mhm.
something. Anyway, he has mentioned in the past that was a little bit of an issue. So that is one thing. So you'll see some notes as you flip through here, but the big thing that I think is important for us to address is, I'm still getting there, so sorry. Did you find the grid, Teresa? You know which one I'm talking about.
The
Oh.
sick leave? 42?
Vacation time? It's vacation time. Oh, Page 21, you'll see I made a comment here. Nowhere in here does it actually say for our staff the hour of lunch. So it's indicated in here that we have 27 hours of them working. It doesn't indicate whether that's paid or not. I did actually confirm with 2 prior clerks just to make sure we had correct information, and it is unpaid lunch. So, I do think that needs to be reflected in our manual. So on page 21, you'll see that I have the break for lunch there, and that needs to be updated. So that's something simple.
So how are you recommending that we add in there?
Yes, I do recommend that we add in there somewhere that it is considered an unpaid lunch. Now, if that's gonna make sense in just a moment, why I think that's important.
Right.
So if you look at, page 23, John, with the overtime policy for firefighters. Oh, that's where I just had that comment. What policy are we following? That was just for overtime though. That wasn't for the compensatory time, which was on that next section.
So what page are you on?
Looking at 23 and 24, trying to get to that grid, but I'm seeing some of my comments as I'm flipping through. So, whether or not that's something that we change today, that I'm not so worried about. The biggest thing is just starting April 1, what days are provided for staff here, your staff, is that gonna remain the same? I don't know if you had any thoughts of last year's, what we had approved, and you may wanna just keep yours the same, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to keep the full times the same, change the fill-in to the ESTA, and only the fill-in, the paid on call, and others don't fall under that, because they're not required. That's,
Yes, so
I have an excerpt that I drafted.
you have enough hours in there for your full-time, I
For,
assume?
on the budget?
No,
paying, or-
just for the hours that are currently in their
For,
leave.
for the sick time?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then that is fine.
What page are you on now?
I'm getting there, hang on. My recommendation would be, so you're seeing some of these highlights as I look throughout, paying out vacation time if someone leaves early. My recommendation at this point, my thoughts, and I entertain all of your opinions. I'm not on a page,
Oh,
I'm
gotcha,
talking.
I'm sorry.
I'm just talking. Is that we lump everything together for, shoot, I didn't print that page in there. For our staff here in the office, for our full-time staff. So they are eligible for up to 72 hours per year based on what they earn. So with the Earned Sick Time Act, up to 72 hours is what they earn in a year. We are more around 48 hours. So for the amount of hours that they work, now this is on average, but they earn around 48 hours. But they can roll over up to, they can roll over whatever's left. And we have to allow that. We don't, they don't have to, or we don't have to allow them to take more than 72 hours a year. So my thoughts would be, after 1 year, so for the first year they get the 48 hours. We have to do that. It does not have to be front-loaded right away, but it could be after that 90-day period. I have this on my computer, I'll go print it off because I totally forgot to bring that piece for you. That part's important, unless I add it at the end. The 72 hours would be after their 1 year. If you look at the graph when we get there, page 36, are we adding Juneteenth? Now we're looking at page 37 and 38. These are the big pieces. So we currently have, at 15 years, we offer 16 vacation days. Now this is just vacation, and this is where a lot of this conversation started like a year and a half ago. Because this graph, this grid is is unclear. So, I don't know if you remember this, but right now we show 1 year, you get 4 days, 2 to 5 years, 8 days, 5 to 15 is 12. There's no, like, is it at the beginning of your 5 years, at the end of your 5 years? It's not really clear. And when I met with Ecto, this has been probably a year ago, they also agreed, this really probably should be written a little bit differently. Do you remember, did you have an opinion on that for your staff? For 1 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, see the difference there, so?
No, I didn't really think about that too much. It's
That's
just
okay.
always been,
Yeah. We found that here in the office and it was, well, do I get it now or is it at the end of my, do I have to complete the full 5 years to get those extra days? So that's kind of what we ran into last year. So this grid in its entirety also is not helpful with, with days because our days are not the same. You guys have 12 hour shifts, 24 hour shifts usually. Our Wednesdays are longer than our Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. So taking a vacation day on a Wednesday, at
you're
the end
actually
of the day,
benefiting more from,
they're benefiting, right. So realistically, like, this isn't ideal and clean for keeping track of time. And also, because of ESTA, we have to keep track of how many hours they're actually working. So if they take a Wednesday, well, now that's 3 hours less than if they had taken off a day, right. So my recommendation, I'm gonna go print this off because I'm sorry, I forgot it on my computer, would be that we move to hours completely. So it's just hours that you take.
yeah.
If you, and then it's all lumped together. So your vacation time, your sick time, so right now they have sick time, they have vacation time, they have bereavement leave, they have jury duty leave. I mean, I'll be quite honest, I don't know that you guys would have to come to work at all if you worked this right. Now, in saying that, I'm certainly not approaching this with trying to punish anybody, like that is not the intention. But because of Earned Sick Time Act, it really has opened up a lot of really interesting loopholes for a lot of this. So, I'm gonna go print that, but if you guys wanna talk about your opinions on that specifically, I guess we'll go from there.
What's your thoughts, John?
I like switching it over to the hourly basis, but I don't necessarily agree with lumping it all together for us. And here's why, because, especially right now, in the past, I haven't let anybody take any time off. So that's a benefit they get that I'm not letting them take. So it's kind of unfair to the employees not to let them have that. The other option is, it's already built into the budget, I calculate that in there, would be to pay them out their unused vacation days at the end of the year. It's kind of why people work, right? So they make money. If they don't, they'll live to
The
work.
majority, yes.
So there has to be some benefit in it for them, or they're gonna go somewhere else.
So, if I understand you correctly, you've already budgeted in for,
Their time off, I
Their
have to
time
budget
off.
for their replacement time.
okay, so I think for me, what I would wanna do is what's best for your employees to retain them, right? So if their preference is to work and not take time off, but instead to cash out those days at the end, and you have that in your budget, right? They're not gonna take those days off as vacation days anyways? Like, is that what you're saying?
In the future, yeah, right now that I haven't let them take it off because
It's not a preference.
we're short.
We got some
But in the future, if there is availability and we do have the staffing, I would, it's a benefit to the fire department and the township to have the most trained people working and our full-time people are the most trained. So I would like to make it the benefit for them, give them some motivation.
John, do you wanna
Sorry
just
about
repeat
that.
yourself a little bit? I know Janelle missed some of that. Go ahead.
Oh, so for lumping it all together, the hour breakdown would be great for me, but I wouldn't wanna lump the sick time and the vacation time together, because I would like to be able to pay them their unused vacation time at the end of the year, because like this year and last year,
Sure.
they haven't been able to take any time off. So, I mean, it is a benefit to them. And they just have to forfeit it. It's not fair.
So, okay, so you would like, okay, I see what you're saying, so keep your vacation time separate. Okay,
So we could have the ability to pay them out at the end of the year.
Isn't that technically what we're doing anyways with our people? Like, whether or not, anybody takes their vacation time or not, they're getting paid. They're getting paid
for
for
the
the
days.
days that they would have been here working anyways.
Yeah, so
It-
your
it-
sick time, what are you doing with that?
For the sick time,
Yeah,
well, in all actuality, they're both fringe benefits and they're not required to be paid out at the
Well,
end of the year. You know,
no.
you can make them forfeit it. So right now, just for their sick time,
well, the sick time we can't,
right?
we can't forfeit that, that rolls over up to 72 hours.
No, we don't have to pay it out though.
Correct.
Right, and the full-time people, they have never been paid out and don't get that anyways.
Right,
But, for that, I'm just tracking the full-time sick hours, and then for the fill-ins, I go and track their hours.
okay. I mean, that's fine, we can totally
Unfortunately,
keep two different
that is-
policies.
Pretty big overhead now, that wasn't there before.
Yeah,
You know, I think right now we're up to almost $30,000 in sick time. And that's with just a portion of the staff
Sure.
who've worked the hours. I have the hours and the pay broken down to what the total overhead is on it. But no, there's no requirement to pay the sick time out. And then
right.
just like that to carry
Right.
over as the law requires.
That's why I was, for us, I think it may be better to lump them in and not pay out sick time, but purely because, with lumping it all together, we don't have to worry, they just take their hours when they take their hours, if they need a Wednesday, if they need a Thursday, they just take whatever hours they need. But I don't know that we have to have the same.
No,
and it would
everything
make-
else is different.
Right, and it would make more sense. I don't know, I guess that really is up to us, if we wanted to do something different. For us, like, we're looking at 72 hours, really after a year, they could potentially have 72 hours anyway. That's the, what's that face?
Because they can roll over
Yes.
from their first 48.
Yes,
So, help me understand how we got to the 48 based on 1,404 hours,
mm-hmm,
but 1,404 hours also includes like those holiday days.
correct. So it is, so the
Really-
48 is a little bit over, probably what would be required, but also still, I mean, right now they're getting, where's that sheet? Up to 16 days if they're here after 15 years. So this does still provide for them a decent amount of days off, but it's combining, it would be, the 72 hours would be combining vacation and sick time.
So what would that amount to then I was following you, but that last sentence just threw me.
It I think ends up being, hold on, let me get my calculation, did I do it there? Yeah, 72, it ends up being 12 6-hour days.
Okay,
The 72 hours would be 12 6-hour days, so
Yeah.
it would be 3 weeks. Well,
So-
ish, probably minus a couple hours.
so you're saying that if they took no sick time whatsoever in the first year, they roll over all 48 hours. They get 48 more the next, but they can use 72 of it.
they can use 72. So if they didn't use any in that first year, right, so you're eligible for about 48 hours within your first year. They could roll, whatever they don't use, they could roll over, so they could be at 72 hours anyway. And after it, or more, but we don't have to allow them to use more than 72,
Right.
which is about 3 weeks. It would be probably just shy.
So they're gonna have that plus whatever vacation days they've earned from,
Well, my thoughts are, no, we remove vacation time entirely, make it all personal time.
okay,
They can use it however you want. If it's personal, if it's sick, it doesn't matter. The difference is with the Earned Sick Time Act, those hours can roll over. So right now, our vacation does not roll over at all. So those hours could roll over, so they could use them the following year. Or it does not need to be paid out if we don't wanna pay it out, which currently, a lot, depending on what you're looking at, vacation, sick, some of it is, some of it isn't paid out. So that would be the difference. I have found that with our current staff, they are using pretty much every hour. Would you agree?
yeah, yeah.
So how many days would you give them?
So my thoughts were, within that first year, they would get the 48 hours, which is about what they would be earning. So for somebody employed within their first year, they would get 48 hours. Any year after that, they bump up to the 72 hours, which technically they could have that anyway. Now what this also does is it means we don't have to worry about every single hour that someone's working to track it, because we've accounted for all of that already. If it's front loaded, they've received their time. They will earn that time over the year, but it's front loaded. So from day one of April 1, they get 72 hours. And they can use them however they want for the rest of the year.
So 72 hours is 12 6-hour days.
Now, if they took a Wednesday, then it may be a couple of days different,
So then
or
it
a
would
couple
be-
hours different.
Yeah, that's like using a day and a half.
Right.
So that's in the second year.
Well, we don't have to do that, but they could have it in the second year anyway if any numbers rolled over. So for like record keeping purposes, it makes it easier to just say, in your second year, you're getting the 72 hours, and moving forward you will.
So, as it stands right now, if you're in your very first year, you get 0 vacation days, and you get the 48 hours of earned sick time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, before earned sick time, what were our first year people getting?
Well, after 1 year, they would have had the 4 days, so right
Before
now
1
would
year.
be
Before they were here 1 year, like the very first year they're here,
like nothing. Well, there was earned sick time.
before earned sick time.
Well, no, I'm saying I think they were still earning it, but they get nothing.
Yeah, no vacation days.
Right.
So going to earned sick time, I guess my question is, going to this new Earned Sick Time Act, is that, that's giving new employees time off that they didn't get before?
Correct, but it's the law. We don't have a choice to not give it to them.
No, that, I get that, but I guess what I'm saying is, they're getting days with this new law that the policy manual did not give them prior to this law.
Correct.
So people like myself, Laura, you, whoever was here full-time prior to the
Did not get
ESTA,
those.
we didn't get any of that.
Correct.
And that, okay, so this is something new, and this is something where they're gonna get, if we hired somebody new, they're gonna get 8 6-hour days off from earned sick time, their very first year they're hired.
Yeah.
Like, right from the start.
Yes.
Okay, and then, so that on this grid here with vacation days, they really would be in a line item that isn't even on there, that would be 0 to 1 year, 0 vacation days, right?
Correct.
0, 0, 0. So after they're here 1 year, this thing here gives them 4 sick days, I'm sorry, 4 vacation days. But then, didn't our old manual, didn't the way it used to work also give them some sick
Correct.
time?
So they had this plus sick time. We
Okay,
changed the sick time last year,
yeah,
so that looks a little bit different. But yes, they used to get this plus their sick time.
okay,
So then when we altered it last year, we kinda did a, well, let's give them the days, the hours. But it did give them more days than what our manual stipulated originally,
that's what I thought.
because we separated them out. So this is kinda going back to, this averages it all out into really what this kinda had before.
So
It
our-
just wouldn't be separated between vacation and sick, it would all be together, and we don't have to do that.
Well, I just wanna finish through here then, for after they've been here 1 year, cause this is how this table reads to me. If you haven't been here for 1 year, you don't get those 4 sick days, or those 4 vacation days.
Correct.
But let's say you've been here for 1 year, and you get these 4 vacation days. In addition, you would get, with the earned sick time, 72 more hours, which is 12 more days off.
If we separated it out, yes.
So that's a total of 16 days off, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. And then the next category says 2 to 5 years, and in my personal opinion, it ought to say 6 to 15 years, but we went through that last year,
Right.
and we gave the 8 vacation days to a person who had just finished 5 years. So
Correct.
at this point, we can't really change that.
We cannot.
So it's irrelevant that that is an overlap. So I think we need to, first of all, we have to clarify this chart with how many, and I think that with the Earned Sick Time Act, giving 72 hour, basically 12 more days, I don't know that that last category of 15 or more years with 16 days additional day, like you get, I think we had discussed this and we thought that that was probably, more for, before the Earned Sick Time Act, like, we were gonna get rid of that last category and have 12 vacation days be the maximum that you can earn.
Well, and really, we could still do that. We could just leave it as is with the sick time that we approved last year. And remain as we are with this, but we do need to clarify this chart. And if that means removing the last one, we can do that. We do need to figure out, should it be 1 year, 2 to 5, 6 to 15, what is it supposed to say here? So we have options, and I don't really, we can do it either way. But I do think instead of days, it needs to be hours.
I agree with you on that. I do have a stupid question because I guess I'm not following totally along. So say we lumped it all together. So what do you do for the people that have 5 years? How much time would they have to start with?
It would be the same, 72 hours.
Plus their vacation days.
No, that's, I'm just saying, 72 hours, that's what you get.
72 hours.
Just 3 weeks.
And take away the vacation days.
So now it's all lumped in together.
That would be my recommendation, because they're eligible for it anyway. They're eligible for up to 72 hours a year. If they, so like after that first year, if any time is rolled over, if they have 72 hours, they have 72 hours. They can take 72 hours, that's 3 weeks right there. So if they have 3 weeks there, plus another 12 days, we're looking at 6 weeks, and we work 4 days a week.
Yeah,
And we have really, outside of elected officials, we have 3 people staffed.
right.
Now, again, I don't want this, I certainly don't wanna take anything else away. Again, they do have some other time in there.
Well, there's all so there's all the holidays, the federal holidays that fall on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And sometimes that's 6 days a year, sometimes that's 8, sometimes it's 9, you know, it just depends on when. Like Juneteenth is a Friday this year, 4th of July is a Saturday, so, but other times they're in the middle of the week. So those would be Township's closed. There's the time between Christmas and New Year's that is always closed. So there's just still, and that's why I'm like, and I don't wanna get nitpicky, but I also want to recognize that, you know, when we're giving them 72 hours at the beginning of each year, that's based on working all those days. But we don't work all of those days,
I agree.
right? So there's some built-in cushion in addition to we're giving them this many days.
Well, like I said, if we didn't wanna lump them, we don't have to. We can keep the policy that we had just this last year and just clear up this grid. But either way, I would really like to move us to an hour system instead of days, because it just doesn't really make sense right now for us to be earning hours based on hours worked, and then we try to give out days, which aren't equivalent here because of our Wednesdays.
Right. No, I think that I'm in agreement with you about what you would like to change it to. This is I'm trying to process through it.
Yeah, well, and it is a big shift, because you're right, we would be going from, 2 to 5 years, they get 8 days plus their sick time. So this would be shifting to just, you hit that mark, you hit that 1 year mark, and you get 12 days. So it is a big shift, so we may not wanna do that. And we could still, calculate and just give them how we set it up last year. I'm okay with that. And that's probably an easy shift.
Well, what is this page here? What are you recommending?
Well, this was if we were to lump them together. So the vacation and sick would be one bucket.
Okay,
And my thoughts were, they have the 90-day probation period for any new employee. However, they start earning from day one, so it doesn't matter if they're eligible to use it, they start earning that time from day one. They do get up to 72 hours per year, which again is about 12 6-hour days for our staff. So they have 1,404 hours per year, which ends up being 30 hours of sick time. Did I do that right? Hold on. Oh, sorry, divided by 30 hours. So again, for every 30 hours, they get an hour of sick time, which is 46.8 hours. So on average, they're earning that. Now here's the thing, Teresa, you did bring up, well, sometimes we have holidays and stuff. However, Laura does have some additional days for elections. Danielle usually comes in on those days. So those are not, they may or may not be accounted for in some of this, I guess. Or Angela's tax day. So these numbers are also to provide us a cushion, because by law, we have to at least give them enough to cover.
Right.
So if they're working a little extra time here and there, or like Laura's working the late days, we're doing the 24-hour days on election day or whatever, we still have to make sure we're covering that time with the hours.
yeah.
So that makes about 8 days a year that they are eligible for with the 1,404 hours.
So it's basically giving them an extra 4 more, and really going from about 8 days to 12 days.
So they're eligible for 8 days-ish of sick, which again, that's probably more than what it really is for days worked. But giving them those extra time because of sick and vacation, it would just be lumping them together. Now my thoughts were, so if you look there, after 98 days, they would get 48 hours front-loaded. I don't remember if I meant to say 48 or 47, but I put 48 there, so I guess I'll go with 48. Unused hours do roll over, but employees may not use more than 72 hours within a given year. After 1 year, they would receive those 72 hours at the beginning of the fiscal year. So again, that is a big jump, but they may be using it anyway, and they're eligible if they have the time or use the, or have earned the time. Does that make sense? Does this make sense to everybody?
I think that I might need a little clarification on the fire side. You guys are talking about,
We're just talking township side, but this is township at
I
first.
just clarified it's not changing.
Yeah.
How's that? Real
I
fucking
was,
easy.
I was just kind of giggling for a second, because if I called off sick last week, I'd use my 72 hours in 1 week.
Yeah, this is
It's
just
different, right?
township.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, it's based off of 30 hours worked though, so you have 48 hours-ish, 50, what are you doing, 56? So you're at 2 hours a week, whereas our staff is looking at more of 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
Now, again, if we're only allowing 72 hours, it may not make sense.
So,
You know, 120 hours a year.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
this plus this piece of fish.
Is it easier to just leave it as is and clean up our grid?
I don't know. I don't know, because here we're gonna make this decision, and then this is gonna be what we go with moving forward, so.
Well, that's why maybe it's just easier to clean up this grid and go with what we approved last year.
So to clean up this grid, what would you propose to clean up the grid?
Well, as it's written right now, we have 5 years and 15 years in 2 different timelines, so that would need to be fixed.
Well, I say ditch the last category altogether. Like,
So 15 or more years, you're just.
I have a hard time trying to explain to the residents how a person could get, number one, with the Earned Sick Time Act now, 12 6-hour days off plus 16 more days.
I don't disagree
Like,
there.
this is from 2019, before the Earned Sick Time Act. So, you know, that's just me. I mean, to me, it seems like, 12 6-hour days for 72 hours is 3 weeks, plus if you're at 12 days of vacation time, now we're at 6 whole weeks of time off paid. And, I mean, people work in corporations for years and get 4 weeks time off paid without, you know, like 6 weeks off paid is a lot of time off.
I agree. I was talking to the girls earlier, especially, you know, we aren't open on Fridays and we are closed on holidays. So it actually already limits the amount of days that the township is open.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you guys wanna do?
I've got a question. So, I'm gonna use the word perhaps out of school excessive on the amount of, let's say, days. Does that help to augment what I perceive as a lower than typical salary for encouragement to people to come and work here?
Well, I'm sure it does to some aspect. If you can get 6 weeks off paid, that's a pretty good deal.
After working somewhere for, 2 years.
Yeah, I just want it thrown out there that might be offsetting. Someone looks at that.
Well, now granted, they have gotten, you know, substantial raises the last 2 years in a row,
I agree.
right? Along with this Earned Sick Time Act coming into play. So it's, I feel like we're talking 2 totally different employment situations from 2 years ago to now. Do you agree?
Well, I think we're still underpaid. Again, it's a little bit subjective on my part, but given that I'm not one to see a ton of change, assuming this is as harmonious as it appears to be from afar, that maybe this is okay.
I'm in total agreement with Teresa on wiping the last line out. I'm almost,
48?
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. What's your thoughts of wiping the last 2 lines out and maxing the vacation days at 8? Or a different number?
With 12 sick days,
Yeah,
that's a total of 20 days.
yeah. I'm just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
were we still gonna combine the two? Call it PTO instead of vacation sick?
Well, I think that that's Janelle's point, is that it's probably easier to keep track of. Is that the
So-
case, Janelle?
So if you're calculating it out per hour, right, you wanna do the 72 for everything. So the way it stands right now, you get 5 sick days, right?
What do we have, is that
If
weird?
full-time employees get 5 sick days, so
40
for you,
hours.
that's 30 hours. And then for the, well, 1 year is 4 days, so that's 24 hours, so that's 54 hours they get. So they're getting a huge bonus from going from 54 to 72, so that should be easy math, it's really good in their favor. So just go calculate it out that way and carry it out through the 2 to 5, 5 to 8, and the 16 days. Minus the 5 hours from that, and just add the increase in hours for those days. It still works out in their favor, and it's not the ridiculous 16 days as it sounds. Right?
I don't know technology.
Are you taking that?
John,
from-
get the whiteboard out.
Are you taking that from the accrued per month as it stands in this?
So if you'd front load everybody with 72 hours, right? So they get, full-time get 5 sick days, the staff here. So those 5 sick days, that's calculated out of the 6 hours per day, right? So it's 30 hours of sick time per year you're getting right now. And then if you go on their vacation days, it's 4 days at 6 hours, so that's 24 hours of vacation days for the first year. So
You're
that's,
getting the 5, is that what we currently have in the manual, 5?
yes,
5 sick days? And then the 2 personal.
You know, I noticed David Fleet laughed.
I wondered.
I wonder why.
he got really bored.
Sure.
So in the inception of it, it would be a benefit to the employee to go off that base. So just calculate out the extra 4 days for the 2 to 5 and so on. Maybe it's not excessive, I don't think.
To keep it as is, or do you mean the 72?
To go to the 72 and just add increments as you increase in your longevity. Same as
Do you mean to add on to the 72?
Yeah, you don't want to take stuff away from them.
Right, well, that's what I'm
No,
saying, I don't
that's-
wanna punish anybody.
No,
That's
that's
why
just
if it's
the way.
cleaner to just leave it, we can.
No, just break it up into hours in one lump. But start with your 72 and then just increase, so it'd be 4 more days. So it'd be another 24 hours for years 2 to 5, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, another 4 days, another 24 hours for 5 through 15 years.
I follow you.
It's not much.
I see you counting on your hand.
Yeah,
So-
I have to.
Change this into
We're only gonna do
hours.
hash marks.
Total PTO is what we would change it to.
And that's what most places have gone to nowadays anyways. They've gotten away from having it broken up. So it does make a lot more sense.
Well, and from a legal standpoint, it's a lot easier for us to keep track of and not
Well, sure.
how many hours did so-and-so work and did they get another hour paid off?
Yeah.
That was just my thought, but I'm okay whatever we decide.
Okay, so yeah, this manual does say on page 42, that upon completion of 12 months, full-time employees shall be allowed 5 days of paid sick leave per year. And the paid personal days are also at the completion of 12 months, 2 paid personal days. So that's 7 days, right? And so to change it to the 48 hours in the very first year, because of the Earned Sick Time Act, is already giving them, well, way more than what they got nothing the first
Right.
year before.
And truthfully, I mean, like you said, for Laura, for you, for me, like, we're out on that, but we can't help that the law changed.
Right, and you know what, we agreed to take the job knowing that it was still gonna be the way it was.
Right.
It's like, that's fine, but, with the law changed, we're already giving them, what people who have been here for a month or for a year would have made, right? So they're getting more in the first year because of the law than what people who had worked here for a year were actually getting according to this policy.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't give them anything in the first year. I would just let them use their accrued time through the first year, and they're not entitled to it until after 120 days of employment. So, give them no benefit other than what they've accrued through the first year.
So on day one, like, let's say they work for a whole month, they're gonna earn 1 hour of earned sick time, right? Well, no, I'm sorry.
About 4
4 hours. So in their very first 3-4 months of working here, they just get what they've earned according to the law.
Yes.
And then after they've been here 120 days,
They could then use that
well,
time.
they can use that whenever though. They, like, the law says they can use it as they earn it.
Whatever.
So they can earn an hour and use an hour, right, after being here a week.
Right.
or
No, after being here
5 days.
120 days. They're not entitled to it until 120 days.
Oh, yeah, they earn it, they start earning on day
That's what
one,
I'm
but they're
saying.
not eligible to
Okay.
use it day one.
That's my
Okay.
point though, they can't use it.
Okay,
Correct,
Until
not
the
until their
120.
probationary period.
Exactly.
so I wanna do this in keeping with the law, but also being fair, but also being good stewards of, you know, the township's resources and making staff available to help residents as needed, right? So up to 120 days,
They get nothing. Or you could be really gracious and give them the 2 PTO days. In the first year, it's only 12 hours anyways, in most instances.
you
So
need
the
the
12
first
hours
120 days.
PTO plus their accrued time. Because, I mean, people do need days off here and there, and
Yeah,
you don't want to hold it against them, so.
so what does the Earned Sick Time Act say we can do in the first year? It's,
Well, I mean, like we said, whatever they earn, they can use it when they're when they've earned it. I thought it was 90 days, is it 120?
It's 120 days.
So at 120 days, they will have earned, that's 16 hours, they will have earned almost 3 days off, is that right? Did I calculate that right?
16 hours. That would be
well, what are you doing, 27 times
really.
4?
I was just
8, 12,
estimating about an
16.
hour a week, it'd be just shy of that.
Yeah, so about that, okay, so they earn it, but then they can use it after 120 days.
At 120 days, they don't have to show up for 2.5 days,
Right,
And
true,
they don't have to tell you.
and they don't have to tell me.
right. So then, for the remaining part of that first year, they continue to earn their sick time, but you're suggesting, I mean, the way it is right here, like, they didn't get any vacation days or anything until they've been here a year. But with the new Earned Sick Time Act, they're still gonna earn vacation, they're still gonna earn paid time off
Correct.
the whole first year, and
The
they can
sick
use
time.
it.
Right,
And then-
they may not be sick. I
Right.
mean, that's kind of the caveat of this, is that,
Yes, but mental health counts as much as physical health.
yes, right,
And
like
so-
opening day of Tigers.
And I'm going,
Might
Well,
need to go.
that was always the justification, right?
Yeah.
Like, you may not have physical symptoms, but your mental health is as important as your physical health. And so, we can't question that, and I would never suppose to. But then, so I guess we have to decide, you know, do we give them additional for that remaining part of the year? So for months, 5 through 12, they're just gonna continue to accrue their time, and like your calculations show, they would have gotten 47 hours anyways, and that's what we would have given them in the first year. So the first year that they're here, they just accrue sick time at the rate that they earn it. Without front loading it, just let them earn it as they go. That's their first year, earn as you go.
So, okay, so we do have in the policy right now that 90-day period of probation.
Yes, but they don't get any paid anything in their first year, under the policy right now.
Well, I mean, the policy right now is the Earned Sick Time Act, we are in that. And as of
Okay.
last year, we did say with, after 90 days, that is their probation period. But I'm okay if we wanted to do 120. The rest of the manual, I guess where I'm going with that, 90 days is everything else, that probationary period is 90 days.
So the earned sick time law says 120, but you're saying we chose 90.
We chose 90
And I'm
last
fine with
year.
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say.
I'm fine with that. So basically, 90 days. So then months 4 through 12, they just earn it as they go, and at the end of 1 year, they could have earned, or they will have earned up to 47 hours. And they can use it as they wish to. So that's kind of like what you were proposing. In their first year, they get 48 hours.
But I was still recommending front loading.
Okay,
Front loading is easier for record keeping for everything. That's the reason the front loading was recommended initially.
well, what happens with, okay, so front loading is not a problem for me, depending on what we decide to do with, say a person leaves after 6 months.
So that
And
I
they've got
have
stuff
in there, if the employees have used their time and leave, their used hours may be cut out of their final paycheck. And in signing the policy manual, they will be committing to that
So you're
policy.
saying if they use more than what they were
What
actually
they
gonna
actually
earn,
accrue.
then it just gets cut out of their final.
Correct.
So you're like garnishing it.
Basically.
Okay, all right.
John, to go back to your suggestion, just so I'm clear, so if you went to this chart, obviously we said after a year it'd be 72 hours.
Yep.
And then say you went from 2 to 5, it would be 96 hours,
Yeah, just take your 4 days,
your 4 days.
so another 24 hours.
And then from, well, we
And
haven't
then
changed
another
the
4
chart yet,
hours.
but say 6 years and over, you would be at 120 hours.
Yep.
I don't mind that,
Well,
that math.
I'm thinking through this. So, for years, basically, after you've worked 1 year, cause I'm okay with that for the first year, it's better than what this manual said, and it adheres to the new Earned Sick Time Act.
Mhm. Correct.
So then it's going into years 2 through 5 that they would,
Occur another 4 days, which would have been 96, or would have been a total of 96 hours, or 72 plus 24.
okay, so for year number 2, it's 72 hours, which is 12 6-hour days.
Two through 5 would be 96.
Okay, so
Which would be
96
16
would be
days.
16 days.
Yeah. And then year 6, and this would just be my suggestion, I would cap it at 6 years and over.
6 plus.
6 plus, you top out at 120 hours, which would be 20 days, sick, vacation, all of it lumped together.
How does that compare to what they're getting now?
What did we say was 6 and up?
Yep. That's changing.
That was 96? What'd you say was
No,
6?
2 to 5 is 96.
2 to 5 is 96.
Yeah.
Well, this is with giving them the extra time last year, so like right now, we have one person who's between 12 and 15 years, do we have one? Maybe 2?
Do we?
We have 2.
Who?
Angela?
Angela's, no,
But
you're,
they're-
they're in year 6.
That's what I'm saying, they're both in the same period right now.
They're in year 6, yes.
Yeah. So 12. Well, see, it's hard because we're comparing hours and days again. But let's say these were 12 6-hour days. So that would be 72 hours plus 48, 120.
Is it the same?
Same thing.
At 6 hours, or at 6 years, excuse me. So it would be, again, that's days, so I guess at the end of the day, could we be taking away about a couple of hours from them? Because of the Wednesdays. Again, if
I
you're taking
don't-
off Wednesdays, they're getting the extra time. Maybe, but the Sick Time Act gave them extra hours
Right.
anyway from that cushion that we were trying to prepare for last year. I mean, they really probably got maybe even 2 days.
Oh,
Extra.
I think they got
Extra
actually
18 hours.
30 hours.
What was that?
An extra 18 hours.
Yeah,
Last
Front-loaded
year?
on that. No, with the, adding the sick time.
right.
They're going from their sick time and their vacation time, loading it into the 72 hours, cause with that, originally it was 54 hours.
Yeah,
So carry that out through, they have an 18-hour benefit.
So that's like 3 extra days.
right.
I like those numbers, but like I said, I would just make that chart 6 and over. You're capped at 6.
So we're gonna remove the 15 plus.
Yeah. And change from 6 to 15 just to 6 or over, is my suggestion.
So I think, I just don't like the way that this is worded. Length of service, 0 to 12 months is really what it should say. Like 0 to 12 months is, earn as you go, like ESTA rules.
Not front loaded after.
But you can front load it.
After a year.
No, I think according to her, what she wrote on here is front load it, but if they leave before their 1 year, then we basically cut the extra hours out of their final
I
paycheck.
did read that.
So if they wanna take a year or a week-long vacation in the summer and, but they don't leave employment, then that's fine. But we have to have some sort of,
Yeah. Right.
guarantee that we're not just giving them vacation time and then they're leaving us.
Well, or we can just do the accrual, I guess. It really, it's not like we're hiring people all the time to come in here. So if it's easier to just do accrual, maybe it is, the first year.
First year, just accrual.
Earned by accrual.
Yeah.
And they can take time off unpaid if they want to.
Right. Earned by accrual after 90 days,
Yep.
90 days use acceptable. Okay?
And then at their
Then-
1 year mark, we'll give them the 72 front loaded.
So I think that needs to say length of service is, 12.1 months,
12 months, 1 day.
yep,
There you
up to 24 months.
go. Correct.
Does the 90 days need to be 120 days under the law?
No, we can,
No,
we
you can
can
cut
do
it
it whenever we
less.
want.
Yeah, we can set that.
Then you're saying 72 hours.
Yes.
Then we go to 24 months, 1 day.
Yep.
Up through
60 months,
60 months?
12 times
5 years.
Okay, so the only concern I have is that Danielle and Angela got those
Oh,
extra 4
I get
days
you.
at
So you-
5 years and basically 5 years.
So you're
They
saying we need
finished
to go,
5 years.
so you think we need to go to 72 months then?
I
So that
don't-
they're in their 6th year?
Well, if Laura is coming up to 5 years, she should be able to be eligible for the extra hours at the same time that Danielle and Angela were.
No argument.
I don't disagree.
So how does that look? They were at 5 years, which is 60 months, and the very next day, they got
The extra days.
the 12. So, yeah, I guess that would be up to 60 months, and then 60.1, or 5 years and 1 day is when your next,
You can go to 120?
your next 4 days kicks in.
Yeah.
24 hours, right,
But I would cap it at that.
yes. 60.1 and up. And I think that cleans it up,
Yeah,
because, yeah,
And front load it, in my opinion.
right,
Put it-
yeah.
in
Well,
front
then
And I
they can
think
still
you just-
plan their vacation
They can
days
plan their
and
vacation.
same thing, I mean, if we give them vacation and they take 3 weeks and don't return, we could have the same policy if we were worried about that.
Don't we know where they live?
We'll go track them down.
well, the most we can do is garnish their last paycheck.
Right, that's what I mean, like if we felt like we needed to apply that, we could apply that to any of them.
Mhm.
Sure. Okay,
Well, it's a protection for us,
It is.
yes.
okay. I like that.
So this effectively is during year 2, and then during years 3 through 5. And then year 3 through 4.
But you know, that's so clean.
Yeah,
You can make
I
the
think
motion.
that's it.
The motion that we did what's on my paper.
And it technically, like, it might look like 1 or 2 days less, but we front loaded all of those 72 hours, giving in a cushion of almost 3 days.
Well, really, the policy manual that they all came in on
Uh-huh,
really does not look any different now. If anything, they're probably still getting a couple extra hours in there.
that,
You know what I mean? Like, yes, as of last year, when we had to do the tweaking, it could have looked different last year, but really, overall, the policy manual that they agreed to when they were hired in, we certainly haven't taken anything away.
I don't think we've taken anything away.
No.
And what we're not doing is we're not nitpicking on the holidays that we're not here. All of that is still in, assuming they're just working, right? Because a paid day off isn't actual earned time. And we're not nitpicking all that. We're
Correct.
still giving them credit for all of that.
Correct.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, well then I would motion that we make a modification to the employee manual.
Well, we're not done yet, are we?
Well, we can be, this is the big part. The
Right,
rest of
but-
it, there are a lot of other things in here. That's the one I needed to know by April 1. Because
Yes.
again, the big thing is the days, it is very hard for me to keep track of, I took this day off, but it's a sick time on a Wednesday, oh, well then I have to count the hours. There's a vacation day on a Wednesday where I just have to count the days. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was a pain, this was the big part, is to just get it shifted to hours.
Sure.
The other little things, and honestly, maybe if you guys wanna take this home and look at my comments before the next meeting, but this is what I needed
Okay.
for us to talk about before April 1, so that, you know, I could present them with ideally an hourly approach instead of the mix of days and hours.
John, did you have anything else while we're on this hot topic?
For that, no, just to switch over the paid on call, or the fill-ins to the ESTA section in there and not make any changes to the full-time fire staff.
So on page 38, your chart for GTFD is still okay?
Yes.
Oh, well, no, we should probably
Change that
clean
to
that
hours.
so that it's,
Yeah,
well, like that, the length of service, you're gonna run into that same thing that we have
Yeah,
here.
because you got that overlap.
1 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years,
let's say through,
1 through 5 years.
yep.
So then do you want like 6 to 10 years, 6 through 10 years, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah,
So we're gonna do 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and 31. Is that accurate? Do you see where I'm going with this?
no, it's 1 to 5 years, 5 years through 10 years, and then 10 years through.
So like 5 years in 1 day to 10 years?
Through 5 years, so all the way through your 5th year to 6th year. So it'd be, yeah, actually, you're right. 1 to 5 years, 1 through 5 years, 6 years, through 10 years, 11 years, through 20 years, in 21 years through. So yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
Where's 5.5 fit?
Yeah,
In 5?
1 through
Does
5.
5.5 fit
in 5. Yep.
Yeah.
5?
That's
It's
what we
3.
ran into last year is like, oh my gosh, how do we decipher this?
Yeah, it does give you
'Cause it
quite the
has it in
1 year
both
overlap to
lines, right.
interpret it.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it looks different if you're looking at it from an employee point of view versus an
Yeah,
employer point of view.
yeah.
Mhm.
The other change you wanted to make?
The other change you were talking about just now, the fill-in, was that on your, was that on
think we
this
did.
guy?
Yeah, that was 702.
Oh, okay, let me go here. Did you change it on here, John, or is this,
No, I didn't.
the actual page, okay?
I just, that'll be a 702A, so that'll be after
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
individual
what I
heading,
wrote,
that'll be
bunch
an
of it's
extra.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
This is for fill-in. Fill-in, I'm just gonna read this out loud so that everybody can hear it. Fill-in firefighters shall receive paid earned sick time in accordance with the Michigan Earned Sick Time Act as amended and any controlling regulations or official guidance. Eligible fill-in firefighters shall accrue paid earned sick time at the rate of 1 hour for every 30 hours worked, excluding hours not counted as hours worked under the act. Eligible fill-in firefighters may use earned sick time for the reasons permitted by the act, including the employee's or family's mental or physical illness, injury, health condition, diagnosis, care, or treatment, preventative medical care, certain issues related to domestic violence or sexual assault, closure of the employee's workplace or a child's school or place of care by order of a public official due to public health emergency, and other reasons permitted by law. Unless a different amount is required by law based on the township status under the act, eligible fill-in firefighters shall be permitted to use up to 72 hours of paid earned sick time in a fiscal year after 120 days of employment. So I guess that probably, do we want those to be different numbers?
Doesn't matter to me if it's 120 or 90, really. I have a very small percentage of
I know,
people that
I
accrue
know.
that.
Yeah. Township shall administer increments of use, carryover, notice requirements, documentation, replacement, worker restrictions, and anti-retaliation protections in accordance with the act. Paid sick leave provided to full-time employees under section 7.02 remains unchanged. This section is intended to govern earned sick time for fill-in firefighters and other similarly situated employees to the extent required by law. So that's just his recommendation for addition based on fill-in firefighters.
For fill-in firefighters.
Correct. Any issues, questions, concerns, comments?
My only question with that is, do you wanna make it 90 days to be more uniform with the rest of our handbook?
That's
Or does
fine
it not
with me.
matter? I'm asking, John, and Janelle. I mean, we're
I
kinda
think
90
would be
days all the
nice.
way through.
Yeah, most of everything that we have in here is 90 days. And like you said, I mean,
I know you're dealing with just us.
yeah, it's probably a small
Yeah,
percentage.
it's just a couple people, so it doesn't really
Why
matter.
don't- why
And
don't we
then you really only have a couple people that'll use it anyways.
Right,
Yeah, why don't we make that 90?
okay.
Clean that up. All right.
Teresa, in looking at that, did you have anything else that's, I can see you're looking at all my comments, questions?
There was a couple things in here that, remember there was something in the old manual that, referenced the firefighters had to go to some place for a,
Oh,
Yeah, Genesis Occupational, we haven't used them.
and then it wasn't even like, open anymore?
Yeah,
So
no,
I
we use
can't find-
Springfield Urgent Care now or Genesis
So is
Emergency
there,
Room.
is that in here
it
somewhere?
is, I actually have a
Just-
flag
just
on
read
it.
I don't know what it's at.
Maybe toward the end. Maybe not toward the end, it would have been, alright, do you see why I wanted a special meeting?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if we're gonna go through all these little notes, because I just as soon do it, and then be done with it.
Oh, you know what? We need to come back to section 6.
Page,
We'll come back, hold on, let's tackle this part first.
okay, I think that was towards
Oh,
the.
it is on page 39. All injuries must be first be treated at the Genesis Hospital Emergency Room. This is for workers' comp. Genesis Hospital Emergency Room or the Genesis Occupational Health Clinic. I have no idea why that was originally included.
So,
It may be.
can we just specify that it needs to be seen by a physician? I mean,
No, just by the township's approved
I
place,
think that would be more appropriate.
because it'll change. It'll
okay.
change again next year,
The
and the year
township's
after that.
approved place, just call it the township's approved place.
Yeah,
The township's
healthcare
approved.
provider.
Well, I mean, like when that thing happened with Angela with the space heater, and we called, you guys came over, and because I'm like, oh, no, we need to make sure that she's okay, right? And, because technically it happened at work, and so, like, you came
Right.
over, Stacy, and, treated her and so on. I think anytime something happens, like at that time, you were our designated person that we, had look at it, right? So I'm okay with that language. Just, it should be looked at by something, by somebody, somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and change. 46 is where,
Says only go to Genesis Emergency Room or Genesis Occupational Health. That's when you're talking about.
yeah, and then there was a phone number.
Oh, yeah,
somewhere
that's
that
there.
didn't even work. Yeah, so that, so on page 46, we need to change
Show us
that,
both of those places.
cross that
There's
off.
another one, two bullet points down there.
Strike those.
And, is this phone number still good for the township fire chief?
No, it should be the station.
Okay, so let's change that.
248-634-7722. And that way it's consistent throughout.
Well, this does say if it's after business hours, call the township fire chief. You want him to just call the station?
Yeah, because they can direct to call 911 or to call, or
Okay,
get a hold of me.
so
It's
we
way
can
faster.
change it to,
And that's 24/7, so
okay, does it matter which number?
7722,
That's the 627 phone number?
634,
634.
7722, that's
7722.
headquarters.
Yeah, I think those were like little things where I was like, oh, I know we need to fix this. I think those were glaring things.
Under the kind of the same thing, the reporting and that need to change, it's
What
80
page?
802, 803.
What page are you on?
He's on 45.
Let me see.
Okay.
Yep.
802, accidents and injuries?
Yeah, we need to change that to, that we have the authority to make them go be seen.
Okay,
Cause right now if they choose. So,
So even if there's no damage or if an employee chooses not to seek immediate medical treatment, is that what you're referencing?
right, and it should be up to the employer's discretion.
so we just,
There's
a
a
line
couple.
that says, it is the
So
employer's.
maybe the next line, employees must fully cooperate with the investigation of any accident, incident, or injury, whether involved or a witness, and shall be required to
There's a couple different.
options.
Yeah, for wording it.
May be required to meet a report for medical evaluation. Something, we kinda have something in here similar to this right now. I love that we have the word horseplay in here. Do you think the kids today know what that means? I'm serious, I wonder if they do. I thought we had that in here somewhere. Maybe not. Anything, no, there's disability. Oh, look at all those notes. Maybe not. Okay, so.
Can we just put a line in there that says, it is the employer's, it's up to the employer whether or not, you know, whatever we want them to go and get looked at regardless.
Yeah, I think these are good examples here. Just the township may require medical evaluations in order to address specific treatment needs, document the occurrence, fulfill workers' compensation obligations, determine any necessary work restrictions, evaluate an employee's fitness or duty, or ensure that essential job functions can be performed safely.
Yeah, let's just add that in,
Yeah,
put it right in there at 802. And then 8.03, the fourth bullet down, does say,
yeah, I did, I
if you
marked
go
that
to
one.
Genesis Emergency Room and need follow-up care, you must
Oh.
receive your follow-up care from Genesis Occupational. I think we just cross that out.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Yeah,
We have to follow workman's comp, and it's only for 28 days that you can make them go to our doctor anyways. After that, they have the
Okay.
choice to where they go.
Okay, so that's all pretty much, implied in the fact that it's a workers' comp thing. Once it's workers' comp, then they.
Yeah,
have to
then it'll
follow-
hand over and they have to follow all of
Okay,
those rules, and that's all in the packet.
all right.
we're just gonna omit that then, yeah?
Yes.
That bullet?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I like that. I'm just going through here, hold on.
Page 36, are you going forward or backward here? I mentioned this earlier, are we, we're adding Juneteenth, correct? It was not originally
Yes.
listed, we have honored it since
We
it
have,
was acknowledged, but
Okay.
we're gonna add that.
Since it is a federal holiday.
And then what did you have on 34, Janelle?
34. Oh, yes. This is a question. So this, we actually added, again, maybe last year we approved this. So if you recall, so employees will be eligible for dependent or family HRA funding until their dependents reach their 26th birthday, with the understanding that their dependents must remain on the employee's health insurance plan. Employees will be required to provide proof in January that he or she or the employee's spouse is providing health care for their dependents. Question on this. So currently, right now, we are, without stating any specifics, we are providing HRA funds for a family who has an older child, 24-ish. We are not.
Let's not say who it is.
John. No, we're not gonna say who it is, though they may out themselves. However, we also have an employee who we are currently not funding for a child, though he is married, he or she is married, and they do have a child in their home, but the child is currently on their ex's insurance.
Okay,
I think that we just need to make a decision on how to handle that, because right now we're not funding that as a family, we're funding it as a couple.
Does the Affordable Care Act address that?
This is through HRA, we have the opportunity to decide how we want to fund these. So, I mean, they may have some benefits through that, I don't know, but
We had to make a choice between when the Affordable Care Act was signed into law. If my spouse was eligible to get benefits through work, they had to take them. If they stayed on mine, I had to pay a penalty.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Or vice versa, so at that time, we split up.
Yeah, and they still may have to make that decision, I don't know. But this is not a healthcare account, this is a funding program. So I don't know that it works in the same
Yeah,
way.
this is not insurance.
Yeah,
It's not insurance, but it's coverage, right? It's because it eliminated the double
Reimbursement
coverage.
eligibility. It's
Yeah.
reimbursement eligibility, yeah.
so just throwing that out there for thoughts.
I'll tell you what I've told you before, I think anybody that we need to pay insurance for, we're obligated to do that. But if the child has other insurance, I don't think we necessarily have to give them, just give them the money.
That HRA account, the individual that has it, the employee, they can use that money for whatever they want. For reimbursing,
For
whether it's their
healthcare.
kids,
For
or for
healthcare
healthcare, mother, or whatever.
reimbursement.
If it's a healthcare thing, they can use it for any of that.
Only if that person is actually covered under their insurance.
Oh, really? Okay. Cause I use money for my daughter and she's not on my insurance, she's on.
Is that a health savings account or a health reimbursement account?
It's HSA.
Yeah, that's
These
different.
are HR.
You fully fund your own HSA. The employer fully funds the HRA.
Gotcha, okay.
So that is the difference. If it's an HSA, yeah, it's for any medical things, for anybody that that you have as, I think, as a dependent. I'm not sure, or, you know, whatever, but HRA, because it's employer funded, the people that are eligible must be on, a health plan of some sort, insurance or something.
That's what I use mine for, all OTC stuff for.
Is that what our iSolve indicates right now, that they must be on a?
Yeah, cause remember we asked them about that medical sharing plan, and they were like, we don't cover that, so anything, like,
I don't think that's accurate, because I think we have people with HRAs who don't have healthcare and are using the program.
Oh,
All of us,
oh,
every one of
So
us.
I don't think that's a requirement.
that they are on a healthcare
But
program.
I don't think it's
Okay.
just, it's a designated benefit, a beneficiary, or dependent, depends on what
Okay.
you want.
It's dependent.
So like, for example, you would have a dependent, Vinny, I would have my dependents. I think it's just designated, whoever your dependents are eligible for that account.
Okay,
So I don't believe you have to be, and I support whatever we wanna do here, but I do know we have a situation right now where we are paying for someone who technically is eligible for insurance, not opposing that. But then there's also another child who is not receiving that because of how we have this set up. So, do we need to make that change at this moment? No, but is it something we might wanna consider? I would argue probably at least talk about it.
Kyle, did you have something on this? I'm sorry, I thought you were raising your hand.
No, I was just stretching, I mean, in said situation, there's technically more than one child, but.
There could be more than one child, that's a great point.
Are you serious? Maybe you should have some control, man.
Well, one of them's not mine. One of them's not mine, but she lives at my house, right? And I had to pay, $250 for half of the
Said
surgery
person had
that she
to
has to come
pay.
up with, right?
Said person.
Yes, so she's having surgery, she's getting her tonsils out, and I paid half of it out of the HRA with the debit card, and she doesn't have insurance through me.
and they accepted it?
Well, yeah,
So did they require you to give proof?
not yet, no,
Okay,
but I have a receipt for it when they do.
okay,
Like, does it matter what you spend that money on? I mean, that money is given to me as a benefit to bail me out in situations when I can't afford medical expenses.
right.
So they're gonna look at it and say, this wasn't spent on you, it was on a child?
You have
No,
to
I don't
add your
think so. If
children.
they don't question it, I think you're
That's what I'm
fine.
saying, my daughter coming up, I have to pay half of her, upfront payment for braces, $500. And it's like $250 per year.
You just have them listed
Per
as
month,
dependents, correct?
Yes,
As long as you have them listed as dependents in the HRA, they'll count those, they'll let you let you reimburse them, but I'm trying to think how they verify that. Like they're subject to the IRS rules. They have to make sure that what they're paying out is,
Well, that's probably
Well,
why they're
and
always asking for the receipt.
He will, I mean, his child would be eligible as a dependent.
true.
No, it's not necessarily dependent if you don't claim them on your taxes.
Well,
That's
that's,
the only thing that constitutes a dependent,
And I
is if
only
you
claim
claim
her
them on
every
your
other year.
taxes, so
Yeah.
that's,
And that's the rules from, the divorce. I only claim her every other year. So is she only a dependent every other year? Like, how do they look at that?
Right.
no, in the decree, you're still responsible for half the medical expenses, so
I'm
That is
responsible for half all the
cut
way
it under
around.
court
Yeah.
orders, so, yeah.
yeah, that's sticky, I don't know.
I don't either. Like
And I
I
don't
said, I'm not
technically-
saying this is a decision that needs to be made today, but hypothetically, we could be in a situation, something like that.
Sure.
Well, I think if the child is your dependent, then it's obviously, then you're qualified for, since you're married and you have a child, you qualify for the family rate. But if the following year you're just married without a child dependent, you go back to the married couple rate or the individual with one dependent, right?
So I guess that's what I don't know. Is that our stipulation? It is right now.
It is right now, if
That
they're married with dependents.
We'll give you full
qualify.
family if your child's on your insurance. That's currently our policy.
Is that because we don't have anybody with children that if their kids are on some other policy?
Well, we initiated this policy because we had a specific individual who
Right.
had an older child
Yes,
who was on their insurance plan.
correct,
I'm not going to speak of who that person is.
because that child is eligible till age 26.
Right. So that
Right.
was why we said, okay, well, if they're still getting their insurance, if
they're
I'm
still
still in
on-
charge of my child's insurance at 23 years old, well, then I'll take, then we should have the full amount.
Well, that's Obamacare rulings, and they let them stay on till they're 26,
Right.
right? But then we have said other employee with same age kids who are gainfully employed with their own insurance and not covered under this other employee's insurance, so.
So then
therein
the
lies
question
the
becomes,
difference.
but we're not looking at taxes necessarily for dependency, we're looking at simply just insurance.
That's what we were looking at.
Correct, so that's our current policy is, I have no idea what anybody's taxes show, who's dependent and who's not.
Right.
What I know is this person still on your insurance? Yep, so, okay, we'll fund it. Do we have a situation where we need to look at families as a whole and say, well, they're my dependents, whether I claim them this year or not, I'm still financially responsible for half of that. I don't even know if they're eligible without the tax status. I don't know the answer on that, but I don't know. I don't know any of the things, that's why.
So maybe that's.
Why
a
I'm bringing them
question-
up.
What does ISOL say?
I was gonna say, maybe that's a question we need to ask iSolved.
And maybe we don't change it at all, maybe we leave it as is, but I do think that's probably a situation we should talk about, because I'm sure it won't be the last time something like this gets brought up from a staff.
So in the situation you're talking about with the child, would they get a higher contribution?
Correct,
because of
right now
child?
they're only being contributed for a couple, though they are married and have a family.
Then what could we change to fix that, so that it would be funded
We could fund it as a family.
We could.
under our current policy?
Oh, yeah, I do believe so.
Yeah, well, we.
I think we just need something that says, this is my dependent, this is my child who I cover for medical reasons.
Yeah, and we did last
And-
year, when we did implement that, so everybody else who has a family policy did show that their children were on their policy. So right now, that is what our policy does state. But then again begs the question, some people don't even have an insurance policy, so how can they prove
Right.
that if they don't have insurance?
I think we probably did the prove that your child is on your insurance policy because of said child who's 24,
100%,
right?
we did.
And that was how we differentiated between Vinny
Maybe
and
we could
anyone else.
differentiate, call it minor children.
But if you have minor children that are still your like, that really, I think that's really the only reason is because,
Right.
you know,
I totally agree, Teresa, that's why we did it, we had an
Yeah.
adult who really was an adult, so, well, are they still considered as a family? Well, technically, they're still on family insurance,
On
so,
my insurance, right.
yeah, a said person.
correct. So I think if, the other individual qualifies as family, then I think we just need to have that person say, hey, I have a dependent that's living with me now, or that I am responsible for medical expenses for, and then basically leave it up to his superior, AKA John, to confirm and tell us, change his contribution to family.
So maybe in the meantime, between now and our meeting, couple weeks, confirm with iSolved, and then go from there and see what we need to do. And maybe said person doesn't even need this or is interested, but
I agree with you, Teresa, on that. I mean, I'm good on the honor system.
Interested.
You know what I mean? You don't have to bring in a
well,
bunch
and
of
for
documentation.
minors,
If
I
John says it
am
is, it's
of
good.
the same
Good.
mindset, you know.
Yeah, and if they need the money for medical, that's what it's there for. That's why we have this
Right.
stuff. So, I would check with iSolve, but I'm not big on having a bunch of documentation brought in here to prove it.
Well, like Janelle says, some people are not even, they don't even have an insurance plan,
Yeah.
so they're using these
Right.
Sure.
these HRA funds to go to a
Urgent
doctor
care
appointment, urgent
or-
care,
right.
you know, whatever.
And that's what it's.
Well,
there
that was
for.
the whole point of the HRA, right?
Yeah,
It could
right.
be
Use it for,
used to pay your medical expenses, whether it be your premium or
Right.
your out-of-pocket
Correct.
costs.
Uh-huh.
correct.
No.
And we, as the employers, you know, like they ask us, do you want them to be able to use this for premiums, reimbursement for prescriptions, for, like, we just check all the boxes. Yep, let them use it for everything, right? And so, yeah, that's where I'm at with the whole thing. We pretty much know each other here. I know, you know, who's
Yeah,
living in whose house
Right.
and blah,
It's
blah,
not like
blah.
we got thousands of employees
Right,
and people
no.
are gaming
Right.
the system. It's,
Right.
Right.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, but I will give iSolve a call and, just find out, you know, like, what is the, legal requirement for a dependent's eligibility? And if they just say, hey, it's someone you're related to whose medical expenses you are paying, straight, like, you know, father, child, you know, mother, child, whatever, then that just seems simple enough.
and that might clarify the question of what with the every other year tax deduction. I went through the same thing, but it didn't affect anything else. It was just an effect.
Age of 26.
Yeah, well, and I do think it's fair after 18 to show evidence because, I don't know, whatever you wanna do there.
Well, 26, you said, right?
Yeah,
They're eligible, but it doesn't mean you're carrying, like, under 18, like, you're responsible for your child, but at 21, they may have their own job. And, like, we have that situation now where we have certain people who have children who are adults and they have their own insurance plans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessary to fund a full family. Which is why, like you said, that was why we implemented that, prove your adult child is on your insurance.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to fund you as a family.
right.
So I don't know if I oppose that policy, and to be quite honest, we're gonna be running into that in a couple of years with
Mhm.
multiple other families.
Sure.
Assuming
So maybe
people are
it's
still around.
Maybe it's that we gotta differentiate between a minor and an adult child.
Right,
Yeah.
that's kinda what I'm thinking, is maybe that's the easy part of it.
Yeah,
And I'm not even opposed to going to 21 or something to get them through
Yeah,
college.
yeah,
well, the rules, you know, are simple. It used to be your kid was on your insurance as long as they were a full-time student.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
Obamacare changed it to up to 26,
right,
whether they're, you know, living in your house or not, or
Right.
going to school or not, or, you know, anything. So,
Well, after 18.
You can prove it after they're 18.
yeah,
prove it after 18.
yeah. I'd say verify after
Yeah.
18.
Prove it.
Verification. But what we're suggesting there, Fire Chief, is that acceptable to you? For said employee with, childcare expenses, and dependency.
Yeah,
everything.
I didn't read necessarily in there where the stipulation is when that benefit begins,
For,
the HRA.
well, it would be whenever we decided to make that.
No, I meant the inception of it, when we start paying, is it after a year or is it after 90 days?
Oh, it was after 90 days.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
After 90 days, and believe me, we were held to that.
Yes, yes, 100%.
Yes. You know,
Okay, so we'll make this temporarily after 18, but we won't make any official changes if you want. Did you want to confirm with myself or
I'll confirm with them, but you know what, let's just make it, the change,
in here?
contingent upon, like, let's just say, unless I saw, counsels us otherwise,
Yeah.
okay? Anything else in here? So, there are these categories now of like paid sick leave,
Right.
paid like, are we?
You'll see a lot of my comments, much irrelevant.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get rid of those now,
Swiped.
right? Okay. What about funeral bereavement leave?
Do I make any comments on that one? What page is
No.
that?
I thought we had something in there, but-
So are we changing anything with that
There is,
because of the way that we're now structuring
Actually-
all that Earned Sick Time Act and vacation? Page 43.
so probably the only, and I will tell you this is what I've run into. I don't know if you've run into any of this at all. We did have a staff member who not too long ago lost a family member, and, the 3 consecutive working days immediately following the death. Well,
Doesn't necessarily cover it
the
because
funeral
you
may
have
be
the
a week
initial, and then the
later.
week later you have
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
events.
I have found sitting in that seat, that's not ideal.
What if you just got rid of the 3 consecutive days and left it? Because I think it should be a standalone thing. I don't think
yeah.
you'd wanna lump that in with the other
No, I
benefit
don't
package
either.
because it's a rare occurrence.
Yeah,
Or you
yeah,
hope it's a rare occurrence that,
Yeah,
Right.
you hope.
and I'm sure, I mean, at some point, I guess we could put a caveat in there that like, if you have too many people dying, we're gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Certainly hope that's not the
Make
case.
them prove it.
Prove it.
you know, that's how they got time off at Detroit. Fire, they just looked in the paper, oh yeah, that's my name, brought it in, got their bereavement day.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, have you run into that really with anybody needing bereavement time?
No,
I know you guys
myself,
can flex a little bit easier too with your days.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess at the very least, I do not think consecutive should be a part of this because we have experienced that where it's not consecutive. If somebody passes away on a Thursday and they're gonna want that day and then the funeral's the following week, next Thursday maybe, I don't know. The consecutive, I just,
Yeah, no one really needs to take that out.
And this is only, the 3 is for
immediate
immediate.
family,
It's
correct?
not for my best friend or my, you know,
Correct.
like,
Coworkers.
yeah, right. And actually, it doesn't even say uncle or aunt. It's for immediate.
Right.
So the other is 1 day for other family members not listed above or close friends, coworkers. So, you know, this is paid leave. So this is additional paid time, which
It is.
if it's a immediate family member, that is definitely appropriate, for 3, because you're not able to even think clearly anyway, so why
Right.
would you, you know,
Yep.
what good would you be here at work, for sure? You need that time. Well, I don't know about the whole
Well, if it's a coworker, then
Yeah,
we're
the
shutting
law
down the office.
Might
Right,
depend
Yeah,
on which
it
one it
will.
is.
yeah,
Celebrating on the road.
so, I mean, this is, I don't know,
That one's a tricky one. One
That-
day for other family members, close friends, coworkers, or as directed.
why not
Has that been
just,
abused?
I don't think so, but.
No.
I mean, we have had two situations where bereavement time was taken.
It's probably good to have a policy on it, although the last line says that, or is directed by the township supervisor. Now, that's to represent on the township's behalf, but if, it could be a similar exception for,
Your dog?
I wouldn't say dog, but I mean, somebody needed
I might
some
say.
time, like you say.
I don't know, I'd take a day off.
I'd take a
A week
day
later,
off.
I would.
I did take a day off.
You did take a day off.
Well, why don't we could just, single out family and then leave the others categories off or as directed, I mean, I don't know.
whereas approved, but.
I would
As
say
approved.
Well, I think the as directed is more, like if we, so for example, Jerry, our old,
Yeah.
building inspector passed away, so we had a representative go to the
Sure.
funeral. So I think that's what kind of that piece is for.
That's good language there. Maybe just on the other one, it's limited to 3 days unless authorized by
Yeah, I would do
the
the
township
consecutive.
supervisor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
just remove the
Case by
consecutive.
case
Yeah.
basis or as needed basis.
Yeah, especially the way funerals are anymore. I mean, John said it, sometimes the service isn't until a week later,
Right.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, the viewing one, or, you have to
Yeah,
deal with the
you know,
death
it used to
itself,
be
and then
that-
a week later,
Right,
the viewings, and then
Yeah,
Yeah,
the next day you have another viewing and the
Right.
funeral, so,
yeah.
it's obvious.
now that we're saying this out loud though, I mean, obviously if, how do you handle that if, I mean, we also don't wanna just give somebody 3 days if it's,
why don't we say following or including the date of death? You find out someone dies, you obviously are gonna leave that day.
well, maybe like in the evening though. I guess where I'm going with this is like, let's say the funeral's not for 2 months, but then how do you, I mean, do you ask for?
I don't know, why don't you just leave it up to an individual to be reviewed on an individual,
Yeah.
on an individual basis or something, to leave it open-ended.
Like you
'cause
said,
it-
nobody's really taking advantage of it.
But again, this is different than the ESTA hours, because this is us giving them this time.
Well,
in
that's what I'm
addition.
saying is like, so for example, let's say somebody passed away and they had a visitation and a funeral, but they only used 2 days.
Mhm.
So, 2 months down the road, say, well, I didn't use my 3rd bereavement day. I mean, what am I supposed to say?
No,
That's not.
sorry, it's up
But
to.
you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
that's.
I know people are
So
like
why
that,
don't we
Like,
just
Laura,
say-
no, you can't do that.
Up to 3 days. Why working? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, probably the idea there in the first place was that,
Saturday and Sunday.
yeah, they felt like they were already giving that time. And
I got to choose. They asked me if I wanted it when I found out, or they wanted it after the funeral, so I had to choose when I wanted to take my 3
This
days.
was
Yeah.
at a previous place?
Mhm.
And that was kind of what one of our employees or staff members did too, that she had somebody die, pass away, and it was kind of like, well, I need today for a mental day, but I need next Thursday for the funeral, you know, whatever she needed.
Right.
So maybe just leave it, and unless there's a problem, we'll just leave it as is, we'll just remove the
I was gonna
consecutive.
say, we go back to, it's a small office, we all know what's
Right.
going on. I mean,
Right,
so-
and when Laura tries to take off in 6 months.
Well, she's the one I'm worried about.
Okay,
We're gonna leave the other thing in there,
which other
the
things?
second bullet
The
point.
1 day for other family members not listed above. I don't know, that's up to you guys. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I have no thought on it. I mean, hey,
I guess I'm.
It hasn't been abused, I
I was
just
gonna
leave it.
say,
I was gonna say, I think I'm okay with it.
yeah,
I think you need something, just in case you ever did have that one employee that
Yeah,
lost 7 grandmothers in a year.
yeah.
right.
You know, that one, just a thought, or you can smack me if this isn't a good idea, you guys can smack me. It could be if all vacation or time off has been used.
Yeah, that's true. For that, you mean for the
You
second?
mean
Just
for the
the
bottom
second
one.
bullet, yeah, like if you had a
Yes,
coworker or friend or something.
if you've used all your PTO.
If all time off has been, so just, and I'm not for or against either way, but the only thing that's going up in my mind is I just had a very good friend whose father-in-law passed away, and she did not get time off. She had to use a sick day,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't care one way or another, but that is a thought. I know we're kinda hemming and hawing over that second bullet point.
It makes sense because most of us are already almost out of time before it's April 1st. We're using whatever we have left.
Right,
If something were to happen, we're all gonna be like, what do we do?
yeah,
And if you've used it all, we're still gonna give you 1 day.
You're still,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, you're still gonna go.
so if time has already been used, you
Yeah,
get the
That
extra
makes
day if,
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
yeah, chief?
Mhm.
Nay,
I agree.
thoughts, guys,
It
yeah?
keep- Yeah, it keeps honest people on the straight.
Right.
Well, and it, you know, it just, for me, I think about, you know,
Mhm.
the perception from everybody else, like,
No, I get you.
okay, we're not just giving away the gravy here.
Right.
I agree.
Okay,
Okay. The rest of it, I'm going backwards here. You have on page 39 something about, oh, we already addressed that, right? And we're gonna just say that this is on page 39 at, a facility of the
yes,
township's
yeah, we
choice.
addressed that one already.
All right, and then we're gonna get rid of probably, 6.07 on page 38, cause that's paid personal days, that's all getting lumped in. And vacation, well, you're gonna have to call that something different now.
Yes, I know, I'll have to
6.05 and 06,
Was that the one I wanted to talk about, or did we talk about that one already?
paid vacation time. So I think, we're gonna have to blend it all in together.
Yeah.
6.06 paid vacation time, 6.07 and 6.05, and then the other one on, paid sick leave, which is on page 42. All of those are gonna have to get lumped together, because we're no longer going to
Right.
separate them all out,
Correct.
okay?
Are you okay, John, if we leave the compensatory time in there right now, and maybe we can look at exactly, it's kinda, unfortunately, it's trickled in a lot, and I don't wanna just say, sure, I'll just remove it all.
Yeah, that's
Can we
fine.
maybe just
We
look
just
at
haven't
it?
been using it, it's just been straight payout and
Yeah.
everything, so.
Yeah. Thought I had, that's not, that was in this,
So, page 35,
I'm getting there,
yeah. Was this put in here specifically for a particular person, or is this something we're leaving in here?
35.
Page 35.
So this, well, the fire chief and the full-time elected official, I have to read it out loud apparently. So this is, okay, if we look at page 35 and 36, this is saying, we're gonna reimburse, if you've been elected, or if you're the fire chief, we're gonna reimburse you for medical insurance premiums until you're at retired age. For support staff, we are, the same amount of time and years worked.
30?
Yep,
Okay.
they're just getting $4,000.
Yeah, so this is like saying the fire chief or the senior management
which is clerk, treasurer, and supervisor.
Yeah, so
So-
it's,
But it's 65, you're on Medicare.
yes,
Well, but you might have 30 years in at 55 years old, but I mean, we're not there, but.
then you're paying for 10 years,
of
and it's
premiums.
basically, 18,000 a year. It's whatever their insurance costs,
Right,
and I know that's what we're doing right now.
and his or her
although
spouse.
Did the two chiefs ago turn 65 yet?
Yeah.
So, this is how long we've been carrying that expense, right? And he's the only one, cause everybody else that retired after 30 years was over the age of 65. But,
You guys may, just for the record, there are a lot of comments in here, doesn't mean we have to change every one of them, but there were some that I'm like, well, what are we doing here?
right, that's why I think some of these things were put in because of these,
Specific individuals?
specific individuals, correct. And, I mean, I'm not sure what's appropriate and what's not at this point, but for someone with 30 years in and they retire, is it appropriate to cover their entire health insurance until age 65? For them and their spouse, is that what it says?
Yes,
As if they were still working, I mean, and that's a big difference between that and what a regular employee gets.
yeah, a regular employee would get, what is it, $3,000.
And what if you were a
Just
regular
for the
employee, and then the very last year or two, you were the fire chief, or,
That's what most places do.
so then they leave and they get this bigger benefit when they leave.
Yep.
Yeah, that to me is like, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
John's like, don't touch it.
Well, it's kind of one of those 50-50 things, I mean, yeah, you do deserve to be rewarded for a long career at one place, but
What if that individual went somewhere else and they got benefits there until they were 65, that what are we paying?
Which
That's,
they could do.
which is exactly what,
happened in that case?
That's exactly what has happened, yeah.
So, but here it doesn't, is it the 4,000
Plus a pension, mind you.
or
Right.
just the full cost? Cause
This
this
is,
highlighted one doesn't have a dollar for maxed
it's
out.
up to the hard ca, it's like what we would fund into the HRA,
Mhm.
they get the same thing.
Okay.
So in this case, a full-time fire chief and spouse, would have gotten like 16,000 a year.
So maybe it should be contingent upon that person actually being retired and not receiving those benefits somewhere else.
Which would be hard to monitor.
It would be-
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure how to handle that one, that might be
It
something
doesn't have
that
to be
we,
changed, doesn't have to be touched, could be talked about another time.
well, we may wish
We
to
do have
consult
some-
with our new attorneys
Yeah.
and their labor law, their HR people.
We can, I think this is at the end of the day, this is gonna be our opinion and what we want.
So maybe
I
we
don't
need
know that
to,
there's gonna be there's not gonna be a law attached to it.
oh,
but,
gotcha.
It's gonna be what we wanna offer, it's a retirement benefit.
I think we should probably look at what is it costing us to do that? I don't know, like, I don't see that we're actually putting something into an account that the retirees are taking out of. That's all getting taken care of by someone, like MERS or something.
Right.
And so is that all built into what we're already giving them as the 12% we put in for every employee? I don't know.
That should just be their pension. We have another fund that's hanging out there for all of our retirees' health insurance.
I don't recall ever having to put money into it.
No, because I think it was funded a long time ago. Like,
Okay.
I can show you the number, well, I can try to show you the numbers, cause MERS just switched over to Empower. I can try to pull them up, but there's like a little cushion that cause I pay it I just move the money into their accounts every January first. But I don't write a check, I don't do anything with it, but just
Okay,
move it over for them.
so I guess we should probably see, I mean, if there's enough money in there to fund it for the next 40 years, then I guess we don't need to change anything.
Yeah, I don't know if that is or not, I'd have to look at it.
Well, let's review that one.
Yeah.
Quick
Yeah,
question.
go ahead, Jim.
So this applies only to one person currently, potentially,
That's correct,
right now.
potentially one of these humans in years to come.
yes.
So this is an odd question. Is the sentiment currently of the board that this is a huge type thing, a big reward? And if it is, would it be possible to limit it to a certain year? So our legacy isn't faced with this.
Well, that's my concern, is,
Oh,
you know.
yeah, we can make it
We
moving
don't have
forward.
this group, Holly, it's got 64 people,
Right,
retirees they're paying for.
exactly.
That we could include a present group somehow by chronology, and then after that, this goes away.
Oh, like grandfathered in?
Kind of, that's probably the best way to say it. It might be something for us to consider.
It's not a bad idea. Let's look into that a little bit more, Janelle, and look at, how funded is it? What's the, legacy cost for people down the road?
Sure.
Because, you know, I think, yes, we want to incentivize and reward our long-term employees, but we don't wanna do that at the expense of causing a hardship, so to speak, in the future for the future.
Right. Well, and I'll be honest too, I look at this and if you've worked here 20 years, standing at that counter dealing with all the BS, no offense to everybody, Patrick, they're getting $3,000. These people
Yeah.
are making, maybe getting $20,000
Right.
a year.
That's exactly right.
Plus, then as they move along, they're gonna get $4,000 to $8,000 a year.
Mhm.
I guess that sits heavy on my heart.
Well, the argument that people will make is the senior management are not guaranteed jobs. They have to be reelected every year. There is no guarantee of longevity in that, and so and that's what I've heard is the, reason for higher compensation.
Well, we are getting the higher compensation already, which also means a higher pension.
Mhm.
So
I
there's
think-
an advantage
I
there.
think that we need to look into it. I like Jim's idea about,
Yeah, effective at a specific
you know,
time.
because the flip side going down the road, years down the road, is the money, but I can tell you, I know people right now that are still working for the insurance.
Right,
They're tapped out age-wise, or, they could retire, but
right,
their insurance is whacked off.
yeah.
So, I think it's something we need to look at, but.
Yeah.
I totally agree, we're not gonna take it out of the pot that
No,
they've
no.
been looking at already.
And like John said, this particular person is already 65, so that yellow is no longer right now, someone that we're paying, but it doesn't mean we couldn't be there.
But we did pay that
We
person
did pay
for
that person.
probably 8 years.
Yes. Okay,
Anything else?
I'm sure there's plenty.
Hold on, I'm going through this. Get the top
Was
of
it,
that.
it was around here.
So you've got this separate fire procedures manual policy, John, that is mentioned, like on page 33.
Yeah, it's our policy manual.
Okay, so knowing that maybe there's things in that are not in this.
Yes.
And so we're just commenting on this, even though you've got a whole nother manual. Maybe you have some other things you wanna bring up, but that's not part of this, right?
I had highlighted that, Teresa, simply because I wanted to make sure that was still something being used and same title and everything. I'm like, I don't even know if that's in that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What is is highlighted on page 32, Janelle, at the bottom for non-exempt employee.
Oh,
Why did I highlight that, Teresa?
I don't know.
Non-exempt employee, an employee eligible for overtime pay, non-exempt employees are eligible for paid overtime. I don't know, I don't remember why.
Alright, I don't see anything else on that page.
Oh, yeah, the only, I mean, you can see my comments there on page 32 is, I mean, technically our employee wages are not confidential, it shows that it says it, but they're not. It's public
yeah,
information.
it can't be.
Right, so I'm not even sure why that was ever in there.
Hmm,
See that first line?
yeah,
And then the next comment, there may be occasions where employees may be assigned to other tasks or functions from their assigned job title. And we encourage cross-training in there, I actually think it should kind of indicate that. We have an
Yeah.
expectation of,
Yeah.
you know, you sharing some responsibilities, we are a small office, we don't have to.
yeah, I think that,
Especially when we find somebody's on vacation or gone, like,
Right.
you have to kind of fill in a little bit here.
so are you gonna change that first sentence then?
I was just going to omit the, Groveland Township considers employee personal data confidential.
Okay, so get rid of employee wages,
Yeah.
okay. Alright. And then on page 30, where you have something in here about should we have an AI policy?
Oh, yes, left that on my list. I actually just talked to Kevin about this not too long ago, so he actually was at a conference and was, hearing about this. We have all sorts of policies in here about our computer use. Certainly with AI happening, that has opened up some interesting windows, doors, floors, I don't know. Do you wanna share kind of what they talked to you about?
Well, I'll just,
I don't think it needs to be in here though, we
No.
kinda talked about that.
I'll dumb it down a little bit. The biggest thing they were saying is, do not put any data on AI, because once it's on there,
It's there.
it's
Yeah.
there, it's gone.
Yeah,
So they were encouraging all municipalities to come up with an AI policy, which Janelle has pulled one up. When we talked earlier though, I told Janelle, I said, I don't think we need to include it in this handbook. I think we need to take the policy, have every one of your employees sign it, because everything's gonna change so fast.
Yeah,
Next year, we may have a different policy, or
Right.
obviously more things added on to it. So that was my thought on that. But I do think we need to put a policy in place. Do not put pertinent, information on there.
yeah,
and you know what's interesting, is that I've been at conference, or I've been at, different gatherings of treasurer stuff, and there was somebody who was talking about AI in treasury, and AI can actually take and like do some reconciliations for you and stuff like that, and I'm like, why would I put all that information into a computer to have the computer reconcile our checking
Right.
account? Like, why would I do that?
I
It's
do.
easy.
I
can
guess,
put my blueprints and specifications into AI and it'll print me out a list of questions to ask the architect, like RFIs or conflicts.
wow,
So I would
and now
bring that
that's all out there in
policy
AI land.
to the next board meeting.
Okay, we'll do that.
okay. All right, yeah, I think that's important, and that's, you know, that's cybersecurity as well,
Yeah.
right? That is definitely cybersecurity. Okay,
Janelle, on 26, you and I had also talked about this, the non-disclosure.
Oh,
We
you know,
did as an ordinance.
we did, so I actually
think you
wrote
are
that.
correct, that we should have done
So this was conflict of interest, but I realized after I put this comment in there, did we sign it? We signed a non-disclosure. Or was it was conflict of interest?
it. We covered both of them.
Did it cover
was
both?
NDA.
So this is, I guess, something for us to consider. So I talked to Kevin about this right after that last board meeting. I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't put the public hearing in for that ordinance. So technically the passing of the ordinance, we really kind of more passed it as a resolution at our
Okay.
last board meeting. So if we want it in our ordinance, then I just need to take the procedures to make the public hearing, put it in the paper, pay for codification and all the things in the ordinance. So I guess I just need some guidance from you. this does show right here in our policy manual, like, hey,
Right.
or conflict of interest should be, you know, considered. I guess we could add my brain is shutting down. Non-disclosure agreements in there, but I guess what do we wanna do? Do we
Well,
want
it
it in
does
our
say-
ordinance, or do we want it as a
I think-
resolution?
I think between that and a resolution,
I'm,
we're more
yeah,
than covered.
I think so too.
I think so too, so just add on here, and no one shall, agree to an NDA. Put that in here in this statement, and everybody's gonna be signing this employee manual.
Right.
Trustees included, right?
Right.
So, that's fine.
And then on 24, do you have to strike this line out? Unused competence time may be accumulated and must be taken within 30 days of when it is earned, or it will be forfeited. You must need to strike that
Yeah,
out.
where is that, where are you looking at?
24.
He's hustling through.
Yes, that was why I had highlighted that, because that was something I think that at one point John was concerned about, is forcing them to use it within 30 days and all the things. So maybe that's one easy line we can just remove.
Well, do we even do compensatory time? The only,
A lot of it was, I think, originally for the fire department, but we have also done that. So for example, Angela working on a day over December for taxes, this would have indicated she needs to use that other day within 30 days. To be quite honest, I don't know that we've ever followed that policy.
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know that,
So maybe we can just scratch that.
I'd say so, that,
Yeah, it creates hardship on both accounts.
it does.
It
When you
does.
limit the time, so.
Yeah.
Just wipe it out.
Can we go back to page 29?
You guys came on such a
Yes,
fun
I know.
meeting.
Well, Kevin skipped on over, I was going backwards, page by
I
page,
know,
and then
we
he
were
skipped
right,
the
right.
pages
You
on.
didn't notice Kevin's moving here.
Okay, that last sentence you have there. Compensation for unused accumulated vacation and unused paid personal leave day will also be included. So I think that's irrelevant now.
We scratch that unpaid.
Because it's all part of Earned Sick Time Act now, so we
And
just,
it's front loaded.
But that's for the township, that still needs to be in there for us. However, it's not 80 hours per FLSA, it's 480 hours. That's the limit.
FLSA.
Fair Labor Standards Act? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. So this does not, maybe it should say leaving the fire department, not leaving the township. Because if this doesn't pertain to township anymore because of how we're handling our hours,
And eligible full-time GTFD personnel for paychecks. Full.
I suppose that first
So-
paragraph is fine.
Yeah, you were paying them out at the end anyways, right? So that's the most
So
they,
fire?
no, the township as well, but
No,
you weren't paying them
they're
out?
only reimbursing us for stuff that they used that they left before they earned.
They're reimbursing you. So when Laura leaves in 2 weeks, oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
You can talk.
She might leave in 10
You're
minutes.
rough
but
here
go
today.
ahead.
Then she forfeits all of her benefits? Or
She
she'll
hasn't
be paid
approved
out?
them.
Well, it'll be first. So-
Because they're front loaded, so let's say let's say it was 72 hours. She hasn't technically even accrued them. So we're not paying her out anything.
So if she leaves and she's already used all 72 hours, and she leaves and she still has 8 months of the year left to work, she would have to
She didn't
reimburse the
technically
township.
earn
Right, that way, but next year when she has all that time again,
Mm-hmm.
and she leaves before she's used it, you're not gonna pay her out?
No, we're not. Mm-mm.
Cause it's all lumped together as she can use it when she wants. She doesn't have to tell us. It's technically all part of that earned sick time.
We've never paid
So
her
then
out
she should
for
just walk
unpaid.
out the door rather than give the 2 weeks like says in here, so she
That
gets
has been a
compensated?
big question of that, is what's the point of the 2 weeks
Yeah, I
for
know,
anybody?
not the common practice
Right,
anymore.
not to mention
It's-
the like awkwardness that it makes for everybody
Sure.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But to my knowledge, nobody's ever left and been paid out any unused vacation time or anything like that.
They have,
Here,
yes,
in the township itself?
yes.
Oh.
Number one, Jeff Easton, I know for a fact
Are
was.
you
But
talking
you're
about,
talking fire.
I think she's
Yeah.
talking about
Okay.
township employee, you're talking
Just-
about fire employee.
Yeah, I know, but what's the overhead? That benefit is built into their package anyways. I mean, I don't know, it's one of those things, I guess, if they're still employed here or they terminate.
I think the
employment.
biggest thing with
It's-
that, John, is because of the rollover. All of those hours are technically eligible for rollover. I think that was where the not paying out falls in. Now, I guess after 2 years, if they're getting the hours, I don't know. If they can't use it, they're not using more than the 72, but they would be. But that's where that all stemmed from with that ESTA is if you were rolling them over, then the idea was you may not wanna pay them out for
Correct, yeah.
vacation. Because technically, we may be paying them for now vacation and next year's vacation.
Right, so he's sick the last 2-3 weeks before he quit.
Right.
Make sure you quit sometime around.
We call that playing the game.
You write
Yeah.
this down prior.
Yeah.
Quit in the end of February, you know, or the beginning of March, but,
Not this
That's
year.
right, not this
Oh, yeah,
year.
we're thankfully we passed that in February.
So I see you fixed some things under attendance and punctuality and employees, so to reflect the ESTA
Where are we?
22,
You just switch from 3 days to
Oh.
4
what an employee's
Yes,
absent for
because
3,
technically,
by law.
I think you mean
bylaw,
successive days, not successful days. But it wouldn't be successful. to be
success,
absent
when
for
an
3
employee is
days.
absent for 3 successful, probably changed it on me.
Okay.
Consecutive, is the word I want. Yeah, some of this was just kind of switched here and there to abide by the law with this one. Employees who are absent for 4 scheduled days.
Without notifying the township, will be considered to have voluntarily quit their employment.
Yes,
But
yeah.
that reflects the new Earned Sick Time Act.
Well, yeah, right, well, 4 days, if they just didn't show up for 4 days.
Right.
Then,
Then that is considered quitting your job.
right,
Yeah, that's just Earned Sick Time Act, straight up.
right.
Okay,
Oh, the thing at the bottom here is will be paid at straight time. We don't have anything in there that talks about straight time, so regular pay
Yeah, I
or
was gonna say.
hourly
I don't know
rate,
what I'm asking.
I think would be better reflected there. That was something simple.
yeah, just change that to regular rate.
Yep.
Okay, and then page 21, you have evaluations provided in an abnormal thing. We talked about break for lunch, but did we decide?
Yes, well, that was where I wanted to, was it here? Wherever it shows the 27 hours, I wanted to indicate in there that for township employees, that was 1 hour of unpaid lunch.
Yeah,
Yes,
because we figured everything on 27.
yeah, so
Correct.
we need to specify that, yep.
Where's that at? Plus, truthfully, that also benefits them for when they're taking time off. Like 1 day, they're only taking 6
6
hours,
hours.
not
Not
having to take a full
Correct.
7.
21.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so far. Fine.
6,000.
Don't see a lot else. So I'm just sort of skimming through these, if you didn't mark them, then I'm gonna assume you didn't see anything wrong.
At least that time around.
Right.
Is it a dash?
You're pretty. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna say, I think we got the big ones. Okay. And then on page 6, have a question.
I do, what was my question?
Cadets.
Yeah, let me see what that was.
And then that's the last thing. I think.
Oh, I think they're done. Hold on.
Kevin's got a list, he's not done yet.
Acting low. Why did I write that? Divisions,
Did we talk about
no member of
page
the township
26?
board, acting low.
Did we talk about page 26?
No, 40.
I don't know why I wrote that. It does not, it doesn't apply to that statement unless maybe I didn't read the on behalf of the township.
Okay. All right, well then I think we're good.
Yeah, I
And
don't know why I
so-
wrote that.
It might necessitate a little bit of tweaking on the table of contents.
Yes, that's okay. So I'm thinking, I would motion that we modify, there wasn't anything really that, I'm sorry, rewind. I haven't motioned anything. Was there anything for you that needs to be done by April 1?
No.
Then my recommendation would be that, I motion that we modify the graph
Page 39,
on page, thank you very much,
39, 38.
38, to reflect the updates made in our discussion. And then,
And follow up with,
that's it, so. That's it for now, and then I'll clean this up.
And bring it back.
And bring it back, we'll have a
follow up.
conversation with Ecto, that's my motion, you got it.
Okay.
I support. Better roll call that one.
This is so fun.
Okay, Kevin Scramlin,
Yes.
Janelle Keller.
Yes.
Teresa Billis.
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Keith Weiderhold.
Yes.
Alright.
What was the motion? I'm gonna go ahead.
You did a great job, changes. That was a good motion you made.
Public comment?
You guys are troopers.
We're gonna close public comment then.
Close public comment.
There we go. Anybody wanna make a motion?
I motion that we adjourn.
Oh, one moment, please.
I like. Try.
We have a request for funds to repair ladder 1 and engine 2.
Oh, did you get
He
your quotes in?
got most of the quote back from him, so
Okay.
Justin will explain it to you.
Yep, go ahead, Justin.
Okay, so for the ladder truck, looking like it should be just shy of 6,000 for the repairs needed on that. So for that, if we can do 6,000 toward that. And then on the, fire engine, engine 2, if we don't go with that, so the whole quote came back at 43,000 if we addressed everything. Obviously, we don't need to address everything right at the moment, there's a couple things we wanna get a second opinion on. But some of the things on that list that we think they should address while it's there comes out to very roughly, 'cause this was kind of put together around 7,000, so I think if we could, do you wanna say 9, just to be safe on that one?
Yeah, give it up because they didn't get a definite back on the
Yeah,
dashboard.
so if we can approve 9, so between the two, it'd be 15.
If we defer those other repairs,
Yes.
then is it gonna have to go back to Toledo later for?
Not necessarily, they're repairs that we feel that most, other shops could handle. The one of them mainly is the, springs, cause the truck has a, fairly severe lean to it. But we feel their quote came in kinda high to address
Go with
what essentially
Clyde's.
is a semi-truck
Yeah,
spring.
Clyde's or John
I
R.
was gonna
Spring.
say, go with Clyde's.
Yeah, so it's not fire truck specific so much, so I think some other shops could be
Oh,
able to
John,
come
there's
in
Michigan,
better.
Michigan Spring and Saginaw too is good. Check with them too.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, there were things on there like the front shocks were leaking. They wanted $2,000 to replace them. And the cab lift cylinder was leaking. That was $4,000. So those are things we could all do in shop. And
Yeah.
house anyways that, don't require a license or anything to perform, so, we would like to stay that stuff and just do the life safety issues on it.
What was wrong with the ladder truck this time?
The, transmission was overheating on it, so it needed a transmission service, and the, shift solenoid, or the air shift, piece that shifts it from, the drive gear to the pump gear was leaking air pretty severely.
Gotcha.
That's the one that, the place in Toledo has?
Mhm.
So you're asking for 15,000, correct?
Yeah, to cover.
To repair the ladder truck and engine two?
From where? Where?
W.W. Williams?
Or you saying what budget?
Yeah, what?
Oh, I'm sorry, vehicle repair. Under
From
the
fire department,
Fire.
vehicle repairs.
Vehicle repair maintenance, yeah.
So $15,000 and you just said it, Williams,
W.W. Williams.
W.W. Williams for both?
Yes, yeah, both trucks are currently there.
Did you catch all that one?
You should have, because that's my motion.
That's great.
Kevin motions that we
Yes.
approve.
15,000 for the repair of the ladder truck, engine two, W.W. Williams to come out of the fire fund for vehicle repairs.
Support.
All those in favor?
Good.
Roll call
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I'm half asleep. I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's been a long day.
Janelle Keller,
Yes.
Teresa Bills,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Weatherhold,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin. Can't talk.
Yes.
Just, for our points of, that we should have had that as an agenda item.
Yes.
Just as this is just an FYI for all of us, so that you are aware. We do have everyone here for a special meeting, but if we had been missing any board member, we would not been able to add that. So for special meetings, if you don't have the full board, you're not able to add another item. It's fine for now, we'll just add it to the agenda kind of after the fact, but just so you guys know, so you're not planning on it, and then I'm like, no, that's against the law.
Okay.
I got these numbers back at like 1:45.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
It would've been scrambling
No,
for
it's
it.
all
Glad you
good.
got it.
We wouldn't have been able to do it, like, let's say I was missing or Teresa was gone, if we didn't have all 5 board members, we wouldn't have been able to add it. So, just a heads up for everybody, really, because we have a lot of new board members.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
You guys are very diligent today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody want to make a motion now?
I'll make the motion that we adjourn at 4:54 PM.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.